38%. Victor Wembanyama, the big man in the middle. The numbers won't do him justice because he only played 12 and a half minutes in Game 4. 18 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, and 5 blocks per game. Fox and Castle in the backcourt, Vassell, Champagny, and Wembanyama. And what's been impressive about that Spurs starting 5, Jim, they're a plus 19 in 42 minutes. You look at the advanced numbers, that translates to a 109 offensive rating, an 87 defensive rating. That's a hefty plus 22 net rating.
And they've been doing it by efficient shooting. Wemby's been great. You mentioned the 12 minutes he played in Game 4. He scored 4 points in the game, so his per-game average doesn't reflect how great he's been in the series with a 39-point game. But they've been doing it with fast break points, and the disparity of fast break scoring for San Antonio Spurs, it's a 21.5 over 7.3 advantage in fast break points. Minnesota has not gotten very many easy baskets in this series.
No, so that's plus 14 per game, almost plus 15 per game for San Antonio. Wolves have been able to make that up by being plus 10 in second chance points for a team that really was not an outstanding offensive rebounding team in the regular season. They've had to rely on that in this series.
And also they've got an 11-point advantage in the paint as well. It's a 55 to 44 advantage in points in the paint for San Antonio.
Yeah.
So that's been one of the keys for them. They've been able to get downhill, and I'll tell you what, Dylan Harper's been a big part of that too. He's been really tough for Minnesota to stop.
No doubt about it. Starting lineup for the Timberwolves is presented by Wings Credit Union. Put Wings Credit Union in your starting lineup to help meet your financial goals.
Hey, this is head coach Chris Finch, and here's our starting lineup for tonight. At guard,
Ayo Dosunmu, University of Illinois.
He'll pop on a deep three, straight away. Ayo Dosunmu, it's his night.
At guard,
Anthony Edwards, University of Georgia.
6 to shoot, and settles for the 3. Right side, it's on its way. It's nothing but nets. Anthony Edwards.
at forward,
Jay McDaniels, University of Washington.
Jaden with it, left side of the lane, runs up the shot. Oh, he got it. He got a foul on Cam Johnson.
at forward,
Julius Randle, Kentucky.
Got it right elbow, threw it away right to both Highland. Highland up ahead, Julius Randle, breakaway, slam! Julius Randle.
at center,
Rudy Gobert, Saint-Quentin, France.
Pump takes the 3, Rudy fell for it, Jokic inside, Rudy recovers, blocks the shot. What a play by the 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. So it'll be the second straight game with Ayo and Ant in the starting lineup together. That 5-man starting 5 for the Wolves was a -2 in 17 minutes, but they seemed to find their footing later in the game. And that's when Anthony Edwards absolutely took off. We mentioned the 16 points out of his 36 coming in the final frame. And Mike Conley touched today on how important that was to get that win and maybe to save the Wolves season.
It's incredible right now. It really is. Honestly, I think he would just now be coming back if he was like a normal human being, but he's not. And we're thankful for what he's sacrificing for us and putting us on his back. So we expect it. We expect it from him. He expects it. So we just try to keep him healthy, keep him going forward, and try to get this next one.
That might be the most impressive thing about Anthony Edwards' performance in this postseason, Jim, is how he's battled and come back from multiple knee injuries.
There's no doubt, and the way that he's played with energy too. He's been defending at a high level. He's been attacking. He's been getting downhill into the rim, and the clutch three-point shooting's been amazing.
Timberwolves come out in the association white jerseys. They'll move from left to right across your radio. The Spurs in their icon black jerseys. Rudy and Wemby embrace at midcourt. Our injury report tonight is brought to you by Mayo Clinic, your source for medical answers. The only injury of note is Dante DiVincenzo, who was lost with a right Achilles, torn that right Achilles in Game 4 against the Denver Nuggets. The opening tip of Game 5, and we're underway as Wemby backtaps to Stephon Castle. And now after a handoff to Fox, the Spurs will have the first possession of this game. Right to left, here they come off a Champagny screen. Castle on the run against Randle down to the block. Lobs it back out to Fox, who attacks. McDaniels off the dribble, whistle, and no continuation, says Carl Lane. Fox can't believe it. He's hopping up and down. Looks to be okay despite having a right
They are giving it to him.
Oh, they did? They overruled it. Boy, Carl Lane.
I thought he counted it. They did give him the hoop here. It's 2-0.
All right, so it'll be an and one. John Goebel, the crew chief in his 19th NBA season. 156th playoff game. Fox free throw good, just like that. 3-0. The Spurs are on top. And they got the foul on Julius Randle.
Yeah, I was thinking that it was going to be on Jaden McDaniels, and I was going to say we only played a few seconds here, and Jaden's already picked up one.
Now a whistle stops play as the Wolves bring it up in the front court, and we have a whistle against the San Antonio Spurs. Devin Vassell picks up the foul.
Running through that Rudy Gobert screen.
So it's interesting, 2 possessions, 2 whistles, and we wonder how much of Wemby's elbow in Game 4 might affect things here tonight. Maybe a tighter whistle than we expect. Here's Jaden McDaniels with the shot clock at 3. Takes a run on Champagnie, top of the key. He's got a hoist, he got it knocked away. Gets it back to Edwards, and by that time the shot clock expires.
That was a big double team that time. Wemby came up into coverage and was trapping Ant at the timeline. Ant had to get it out. You've got to be able to attack right. When Ant throws out of it, you've got to attack right away.
Castle off a staggered screen, swings it back across his shoulder. Here's Devin Vassell, beats Edwards off the dribble. Now picked up by Gobert. Back out to Wemby, baseline left. He went into the shooting motion, lost it. It's out of bounds.
Didn't go off Ant. It went off Wembanyama, I felt.
Right in front of the Wolves bench. They had a good look at that. Wemby thought he got fouled by Ant there. That might
Could've
be one
called a foul,
reason.
too.
Yeah, that might be one reason why the Wolves are not interested in challenging.
Exactly right.
Wembanyama trying to take Gobert off the dribble in the paint. Hangs, couldn't hit off the window. And the rebound comes down to Ayo Dosunmu. Rudy has held Wemby to 52% shooting when he's been the primary defender as Julius Randle knocks down the wing jumper. 14-footer right of the lane. Wolves are on the board. 3-2. San Antonio leads it. Here's Castle working against Dosunmu. Gets the Wemby screen, uses that to the elbow, snakes his way in the paint, drops it back out. Here's Wemby on a contested 3. No. And McDaniels has the rebound. When the Wolves contest Wemby's threes, he hasn't hit one all series. When he gets the uncontested looks, that's when he's been trouble. Left side, we have a whistle and a foul in the shooting motion. That is
Castle.
Ant over there in the corner who launched the shot, and the foul on Stephon Castle. So already a couple of fouls on the Spurs, one against Vassell and one against Castle.
That was kind of a reckless closeout too. Ant goes up. Castle does go to the side of Ant, but Ant comes down on his foot, or near his foot for sure. It was underneath him.
First free throw is good for Edwards. We're tied at 3. One thing we'll keep an eye on tonight, when Wemby has been on the floor in this series, now take away game 2. Game 2 was the blowout. In the other 3 non-blowout games, and it was abbreviated in game 4 with Wemby only playing 12 minutes, but the Wolves have shot just 37%.
Yeah.
When Wemby's off, they shoot 52%. That is a monster swing. But that's the kind of impact Wemby's had all season. It's a big reason why he's the defensive player of the year.
Certainly, and you know, we say the same thing about Gobert. The numbers aren't quite as stark, but virtually with Rudy Gobert.
Same kind of thing, right? Deterring shots and
absolutely
not only the field goal percentage, but also the amount of shots that come in the paint when Rudy's on the floor. Wemby pulls up on a right side 3. That's offline. And Rudy got called for the reckless closeout there. Boy,
they're going to review this.
Yeah,
for
they're going to look
closeout.
at it. It might be a flagrant.
Rudy's got to be more cognizant of trying to close out. You're not going to block his shot. You just want to get a hand up and contest his vision more than anything else. I mean, that's really all I ever worried about as a perimeter, shot contester. Is all I worried about was vision. I'm not trying to block anybody's shot from out there. You're just trying to cut their vision down.
Ant hit all 3 free throws, by the way, and he was in the corner attempting a 3, so that's why he took 3, hit them all. He's got 3 points. Randle has 2. They're going to check to see if this is going to be upgraded to a flagrant foul on Rudy Gobert. Gives us a chance to hear from Anthony Edwards, who talked after the Game 4 win about approaching not only Game 5, but the rest of this series.
Now it's just take it one game at a time. Try to figure out how to get a win. That's the only thing that's on my mind right now. Trying to figure out how to get a win. They're gonna have Wemby back. He's gonna come in with a lot of energy. So just watch some film together and try to figure it out.
So Anthony Edwards taking it one game at a time, starting with Game 5 here tonight. John Goebel, after a quick review, does upgrade it to a flagrant foul 1, a reckless closeout on Rudy Gobert. So it'll be, let's see, on a 3-point shot, should be 2 shots. 3 shots in the ball?
It's going to be 3 shots in the basketball. It's going to be a technical free throw. Nobody's lined up here with Wembanyama as he's tempting.
Right, because it's the
the
Spurs
free
ball
throw.
after this.
Right.
I like those situations we come across very rarely. 2 to make 3. Or 1 to make 2. Where you get a flagrant foul on a made jump shot. Say it's a 2.
And you get 2 to make the 1 free throw.
You get 2 to make 1. No, I said it incorrectly, didn't I? Originally.
Yes.
I said 1 to make 2? No, yeah. But that doesn't happen very often.
Wemby shooting his free throws here first, so he made the first, missed the second.
1 more coming for Wemby. 82% at the free throw line, getting there 4 times a game in this series. So he makes 2 out of 3, tied at 5. 10-11 left to go opening quarter. Spurs will now have it sidelined out of bounds. So a chance for a 4, possible 5-point possession. Fox off the inbound, off the Wemby screen. Fakes the pass back to Wemby, runs it up off the glass. No, Wemby tip follow. He got right to the front of the rim, and Rudy was caught on his backside, and Wemby got an easy bucket. 7-5, a 4-point possession for San Antonio. Ant with it up top, watched by Champagnie. Really working the dribble, off to Gobert, right back to Ant. Ant will line up a deep 3, nearly straight away. Missed it left, the rebound comes right. And Stephon Castle has it. Now Fox on the push. Picked up by Gobert, gets in the paint, stops, floats it up, and hits it. A little show and go for De'Aaron Fox. And that is 6 straight points for San Antonio.
Little Rajon Rondo routine there with the pump fake and the spin move.
And out to Randall, straight away on the 3. No, Rudy, wow, shoved Wemby out of the way, who again goes down very easily, Jim. And it must not have been a lot of contact because the officials didn't call it. Wemby and Gobert gets the easy putback. Here's Fox working against Osumu, spins in the paint, kicks out. Here's Wemby, clean look, right side, 3-ball, yes. Just 24% on his threes, but uncontested versus contested makes all the difference for him. That was an uncontested look. Jaden straight away on the 3. No, rebound tapped around, comes out to the perimeter. Randall hesitated, Wemby got to it first. Wemby down the lane, sets up Champagnie in the corner. 3-ball splashes down, and the Wolves are now down by 8. A Wemby 3, a Champagnie 3. It's 15-7 San Antonio. Jaden is now 5 for 32 on his threes in the postseason. Just 16%. Here's Jaden against some pressure defense against Castle. Terminates the dribble right side. Handoff to Ayo Dosunmu, still beyond the arc. 3 on the shot clock. Works to the baseline. Pulls up on the tough 2 and hits it. He hits the deck, falling backwards toward the Spurs bench. 15-9 is the count.
They're going to call delay a game on Minnesota. Jaden McDaniels had grabbed the arm and wrist of Wembanyama and ripped it down.
So the Wolves' second delay of game in the last 3 games in this series. It's their 3rd in the postseason. Castle with it up top. Dosunmu washes him. Just under 8 minutes left to go first quarter. San Antonio by 6. Uh-oh, Wemby down the lane. Rises and hammers. An uncontested flush. Gobert and Dosunmu talking things over at the top of the key. Someone blew an assignment. Now Chris Finch wants an earful for Ayo Dosunmu. 17-9, Spurs off to a roaring start. They lead by 8. 7:48 left to go in the opening quarter on the Minnesota Timberwolves Radio Network.
see y'all. Hey, we should have a good ball game tonight. Potoi, back to the background.
The Frost Bank Center here in San Antonio is rocking and rolling. The hometown Spurs are on a 14-4 run over the last 2 minutes and 24 seconds. And with this series tied 2 games apiece, Jim, with the Spurs, their half-court rating, when they've won games, they've been efficient in the half-court. When they've lost the 2 games, they've had a drastic difference in half-court efficiency. Right now, they're looking awfully efficient, and Wemby seems awfully motivated coming off his ejection in Game 4.
Yeah, this crowd really gets excited, too, when he knocks down 3-point shots. So they just do a great job of moving the basketball. Their guards are so strong. I like the matchup with Ayo Dosunmu guarding Stephon Castle. Julius Randle had been guarding him earlier in the series, but putting Julius Randle on Julian Champagnie is a little better matchup for him defensively. All the switching that goes on, they end up with each other in transition as well. Minnesota's got to get back, though, and they've got to stop silly following here, too.
Spurs have hit 5 straight shots, part of that 14-4 run. Wolves will have it out of the timeout. Again, down by 8, 17-9. No substitutions yet for head coach Chris Finch, who went 3 deep off his bench in Game 4, using Mike Conley, using Naz Reid, and using TJ Shannon. Here's Ayo down the lane, floats it up off the back iron, no, and the rebound to Victor Wembanyama.
He had to shoot that so ridiculously high. It's not even worth taking that shot.
Yep.
It's so out of what you normally do. It's just it's a missed shot.
There's a lob to Wemby. No, couldn't finish it off on the feed from Fox, but Randle fouled him, and that'll be 2 on Julius Randle. And that shot by Ayo, it wasn't even contested by Wemby. It was just the thought that Wemby, the threat of Wemby affecting the shot, that he had to go so high.
Well, Wemby can elevate and get up so high that, and Ayo had a tough time making layups even when Wemby wasn't in the game. Last ball game, had a real tough time, made a big layup at the end and one situation that helped Minnesota win that basketball game.
Ayo is back, health-wise, and playing big minutes, 30-plus the last 2 games, but he shot just 29% over those 2 games. Wemby a little up and under, floats it up and hits it. Wemby's got an early 11 points here to start this game, and the Wolves are down double digits in the opening 5 minutes of Game 5. McDaniels wing right, working against Stephon Castle. Gets a step on him, into the paint, runs it up with the right hand. That's well short. Wemby's got another rebound. He's got 4 boards, 11 points, 1 assist. Grab and go up the center of the floor. Crossover on Rudy, spins up with the left hand, got the finish. I think he wanted to throw that thing down, but he rattled it in just the same.
Somehow when Wemby has the basketball in his hands and he's driving it, he's much stronger than when he's trying to rebound or when he's playing defense.
It's an 18-4 run right now. Here's Ant off the Gobert screen, crosses over, gets to the free throw line, floats it up. That popped out. Wemby another rebound. 6.5 to go.
Wemby out here holding his basketball like he's 6'5". If you're not watching, just so you know.
So they force the ball out of his hands. But Wemby gets it right back, open, looking at 3, and he drains it.
Bucket!
It's all Wemby
I'm telling
all
you,
the time.
it is a Wembanyama show.
4 run. Spurs are up by 15. Naz Reid, wing left, Jaden into the corner. Mike Conley right back to Jaden on the attack in the lane. He'll float it up and hit it. He got deep enough there that he had to float it up high to get over Wemby, but he was close enough to still hit the shot. Champagnie a 3-ball, no. 24-11 as the Wolves collect the rebound. Edwards up the center of the floor. Devin Vassell on him. Around the screen, back to Rudy on the roll, and his pass out is an errant one because he got fouled.
De'Aaron Fox reaches in that time as Rudy was on the roll. Fox reaches in and makes contact with Gobert.
Wembanyama's going to sit at the 5:44 mark. So he plays the opening 6 minutes and 16 seconds, and he has 16 points. 16.
It shows you how programmed these coaches are with their rotations, because Wembanyama is red hot right now. I don't know if I would take him out in a normal circumstance.
I would not take him out the game. Just let him play until he tell you he's tired.
Luke Cornett pulls up on a contested corner 3 and drains it. Naz Reid knocks it down from deep. He is shooting it well
Naz Reid
in this series.
Veteran showing leadership.
50% now over 5 games.
Yeah, 47.4 coming into the game. Pretty amazing.
Cornett with it up top. Not quite the same threat that Wemby is up top. Now off to Keldon Johnson. Devin Vassell, 10 to shoot. Back to Johnson on the right side. Quick crossover, a drive, bangs with Naz Reid, floats up the jump hook and hits it.
Well, they're letting a lot of physicality go on these drives, and they're letting them go both ways, by the way. It's not just one way here. San Antonio's been physical, but so has Minnesota.
Keldon Johnson averaging a modest 9 points a game. Jaden got stripped going into the paint. Here comes Harper. Pushes front court, sets up Vassell. Corner three, no. And Jaden snares the rebound. Here's TJ on the move with a head of steam. Lost the ball, turned over, second straight possession. 3 turnovers now in the game for Minnesota. Castle with it up top. Castle averaging the 18 points a game. Sets up Johnson left side, 3-ball, no. Vassell battling for the board, couldn't squeeze it. And the Wolves come away with it. Naz off to Mike Conley. Mike will set up some offense. Got Luke Cornett on him. He'll go a little show and go. Spins on the jump hook and drops it in for 2.
Little payback, exactly what De'Aaron Fox did earlier to Minnesota.
Pretty from Mike Conley, 26-16. The 15-point deficit has been trimmed by a third. Castle off a couple of screens, on to Conley. Bullies up on him in the paint, runs up the shot, no off the heel, and Conley collects the rebound. Now in, 0 for 2 shooting, but has 3 points. Fouled in the act of shooting a 3. He spins, lost it on the way up. It's tapped out at midcourt, and that is going to be ruled by Ben Taylor. Spurs ball.
Ant just lost the handle on the way up. He did the spin move and tried to shoot the mid-range jumper, the turnaround jumper that he's so famous for. Ball just slipped out of his hands. Jaden tried to save it, just went out of bounds.
Good mid-range shooting game in game 4 for Edwards. For the series, he's at 40%. He's taken 5 a game outside the paint, but inside the 3-point line. Keldon Johnson muscles up inside, pivots nicely on Shannon, hits the jump hook, and he drew the contact.
Boy, he is not looking to do anything but drive it as hard as he can into the painted area. And if they're going to lower shoulders like that, when they spin back, they cannot call the defense for pressing up and trying to deny the shot attempt inside. I mean, Keldon Johnson is trying to punish whoever is in front of him on his drives.
Yeah, feels like he's playing sort of at the physicality of game 1. I thought that was probably his best game. He and Castle so physical on their drives.
Well, he had a number of key turnovers in game 4 that were really important. He lost the ball out of bounds a couple times when Randall was on him, played physical with him. You can't do that to Julius Randle.
Nope. Free throws missed. The Wolves have it down by 12. Ant pulls up on a straightaway 3 and drains it. I mean, he makes that look easy. And he was a good 4 feet beyond the arc and kind of sidestepped to his left. 28-19. Ant's got 6 to pace the way. On a drive, Castle.
They're going to call it on Naz Reid.
Yeah, going to get Naz Reid on the foul.
Naz got him first. Ant got him second. But what Ant is trying to say is that he's using a forearm shiver on Naz Reid to clear himself and create contact.
Spurs were 12th best in the regular season in free throw rate, so getting to the free throw line. They're averaging in this series 28 free throw attempts per game. They've had the edge there as the Wolves get there 24 times a game over the first 4 games. And the Spurs have been better at hitting their free throws, although
nice
they've now
announcer
missed
jinx.
2 in a row after Keldon Johnson missed. Now Castle misses. I'll do it again if I have to.
Keep it up. Devin Vassell's out right now. They just have so many talented guards. I mean, it's been very interesting watching them during the course of the season grow. Well, they've had a number of high draft picks, so they selected correctly as
Yes.
Castle misses the second.
Wow, he missed both. So 3 straight misses at the free throw line. The Spurs are 3 of 7 from the stripe. Here's Conley, corner 3 on the way, and he just calmly strokes that one, a catch and shoot for Mike Conley.
Bucket. Old school.
55% over his last 14 games coming into tonight. And there's a turnover by Harper. He's pressured by TJ Shannon. It goes out of bounds right in front of the Wolves bench. First turnover on San Antonio. And after the Wolves let the Spurs kind of get some momentum, all of a sudden they found their footing. The 15-point deficit is now a 6-point game. 28-22. San Antonio on top in game 5 with 2:51 left to go in the opening quarter. You're listening to Minnesota Timberwolves basketball.
You're tuned to is the only game in the association here this evening, thanks in part to two teams having already advanced. The Oklahoma City Thunder still perfect in their postseason after a sweep of the Lakers. They're awaiting the winner of this series. And the New York Knicks handled business with a sweep of the Sixers. So they're awaiting the victor in the Pistons-Cavs matchup. Cavs made that all square at 2 games apiece with last night's victory at home. The series will shift back to Detroit for Game 5 tomorrow evening. Donovan Mitchell on the dynamic duo of himself and James Harden.
Like I am who I am, he is who he is, but that's what makes us so dynamic, right? You can, choose, and for me, it was like, all right, let him make plays. And now, with the way they're guarding me, it's kind of like 4-on-4 in a sense. They're not leaving me in the corner. So now, if you have another guy that can create the way I can, the way he can, he gets in the paint, there's no help. It's that balance, right? I think I talked about that after Game 2. There's a balance, right? Your attack, you're on the side. It also gives you rest as well, right? And having the ultimate trust in him and vice versa, I think, is why those moments happen. And every game is different, right?
Yeah, another playoff double-double for James Harden in that victory. And what a second half for Donovan Mitchell. Matches the NBA playoff record with 39 points alongside former Warrior Eric Sleepy Floyd back in 1987. No sleeping in this one. Wolves have rallied back. Let's get back to Alan Horton and Jim Peterson.
Cal, thank you. Wolves have hit 5 straight shots. They're on a 13-4 run after the San Antonio went on a 21-4 run. And Jim, we've got ourselves a 6-point game with under 3 to go. Wolves, I feel like, have found their footing a little bit.
And Minnesota has possession right here. So, Spurs have missed a couple free throws. They missed 3 in a row here. Minnesota has a chance to narrow this deficit on this possession for Minnesota. No Wembanyama still, so he'll come back in the next 50 seconds or so. He'll be in before the 2-minute mark.
Nice job by the Wolves bench, too. Terrence Shannon Jr., +7 in 3 minutes. Mike Conley and Naz Reid, a +2, but they've helped stabilize things here. And I always feel like that when Mike Conley's on the floor. Stabilizing things, especially at the offensive end.
His three-point shooting's been amazing.
TJ on the attack against Cornette, right into the paint. Nice pump fake, rises, missed the shot, but drew the foul. John Goebel makes the call. And free throws coming up for TJ Shannon. Looked like a design play out of the timeout.
Got the switch on the high ball screen action, and Luke Cornette got into coverage. He used the pump fake that time to draw the contact.
I mentioned the crew chief, John Goebel. Wolves were 4-1 with him in the regular season. They were 2-0 with Ben Taylor. They were 3-0 with Carl Lane. Add that up, Jim. 9-1 with these 3 officials in the regular season. I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
Well, it's better that it's not 1-9. I like that. I think there was a conspiracy if that was the case.
TJ Shannon hits 2 free throws, and the Wolves are on a 15-4 run. Quieting the crowd here in San Antonio, which does have a tendency. Yeah, they get loud at the big moments, but they get awfully quiet when the opponent goes on a run. San Antonio with it, right to left, up top. Keldon Johnson, hand check by Ant, drives, crashes into Shannon. It's an offensive foul. TJ's got another one.
Boy, I don't think I've seen a player go from one extreme to the other. And TJ is a little bit shaken up here. Keldon Johnson's a low to stand in front of. He took full body contact that time, and Keldon Johnson fell on top of him. I don't think he hit his head on the floor, but he looked like he was kind of banged up. But Alan, the change of Terrence Shannon of making mistake after mistake as the low man, the decision making, to what he's doing now and all the charges that he's taken in this series.
I mean, his advanced numbers have been really impressive. A +7. The Wolves have been better with him on the floor than off. Ant pull up left side. The mid-range jumper is good. The run continues. 17-4. The Wolves are now within 2 after trailing by 15 midway through the frame. Fox on the move into the paint, out to Champagny, wing right 3, that's offline. Slam, follow, that man, Keldon Johnson, hanging out on the weak side.
Mean mugging Anthony Edwards too as he throws it down with 2 hands, looks right at Ant, screams at him.
Edwards across the timeline, stops there in a dangerous spot, tried to push it past Harper, just reaches out with the left hand and knocks it out of bounds.
Ant needs to stay away from the sideline and timeline. He gets caught in the corner once he crosses half court. It's totally in the scouting report. It's one of the things they were ready for. This isn't the first time we've seen this from them, but they're just doing it more often to Ant.
Wemby's back on the floor. They put him in pick and roll. McDaniels bumped by Wemby. Fades on the shot. It's short, and Wemby collects the rebound. Wembanyama affects another shot. That's why the Wolves are shooting 37% against him in this series, taking out the Game 2 blowout. Harper spins on TJ Shannon. Backdoor, Wemby on a run to the rim. Missed the shot, but he got fouled by McDaniels. Jaden will pick up his first.
Everybody was ball watching Dylan Harper at the top of the floor, trying to spin dribble to get open and pass Terrence Shannon Jr. And Jaden lost vision on Wembanyama, who back cut him. Almost a great block by McDaniels, but caught a little bit of the arm on the way up.
Wembanyama 2 of 3 at the free throw line. Already here in this quarter, he's got 16 points. Rattles in the first. Wolves got it to within 2, but now the San Antonio has pushed it back to a 5-point lead. 1:20 left to go in quarter number 1. Wolves and Spurs split the first 2 meetings here in San Antonio in games 1 and 2. And they split the 2 meetings in Minnesota as well. Wemby, 18 points now here in the opening quarter, and he's done it on 6 of 8 shooting. 32-26. 6-point Spurs lead. Here's Nas on the move. Catches it left side, working on Keldon Johnson. Pulls up on a 3 off the back iron, no, and Julian Champagne's got the rebound. Just over a minute to go, first quarter. Champagnie off to Wemby, up top. A little show and go. Drives, kick out Champagnie. Back to Wemby inside, deflected by Shannon, but it comes out to Dylan Harper. Now Wemby with it, mid-post, left side. He's pressured and turns it over. Io comes away with it. He races up in the front court. Got shoved, still floats it up off the glass and hit it.
Impossible shot by Io DeSumo that time. They're going to call another delay of game on Minnesota, I believe.
This is going to be possibly a technical foul here.
Well,
nope.
I thought that they called delay a game, but this must be their first one. Maybe they didn't call the delay a game earlier when Jaden McDaniels was grabbing a hold of Victor Wembanyama.
I'm not sure how the officials missed that. I mean, from even up here in our high bird's nest beyond the baseline broadcast spot, like you could see Io got shoved on that play.
Yeah, they're 100%.
Fox with it against Mike Conley. Top of the key, now right of the lane. He'll stop at the mid-post, got Mike up into the air, and Conley fouls him hard to prevent a possible 3-point play.
De'Aaron Fox had a Minnesota Timberwolves backpack that time. Conley tried to block the shot, falls right on top of De'Aaron Fox. Fox has not shot the ball particularly well in this series.
38%, 4 of 18 from deep.
He's been effective, though. He still is averaging over 16 a game. I feel like he's hurt Minnesota in this series, though. He's gone through some scoring spurts where he shot the ball particularly well. I'm thinking about that flurry in Game 3 that the shot making against Minnesota was really tough. He was a part of it.
He got to the free throw line 10 times in Game 4. He was so good at doing exactly what he just did, right? Penetrating, drawing contact.
Well, you overcommit because he's so fast, and so you've got to like really get on your horse to get back in front of him, and then it's so hard to stop.
Fox hits both free throws. He's got 7 points, 1 assist. Nas down the lane, runs it up with left hand and puts it in for 2.
Man, Nas told Wemby, you better get in the weight room, son. That shoulder right there bounced him off. Nas freed up to use the left hand at the rim.
Here's Fox with the shot clock off. 10 seconds to go in the quarter. Harper comes to set the screen, but Fox runs away from it. Now he'll use it up top against Conley. Now with 4 shoves off. Mike has to backpedal right off the floor. The shot by Keldon Johnson, no at the buzzer.
Unbelievable.
Chris Finch is just earful to Carl Lane, wondering, what was that?
They are letting a lot of physicality go, and now it's getting to be a little extreme. That was a big-time push-off by De'Aaron Fox on Mike Conley.
He used the off arm, and he extended it all the way out. Still not enough to draw a whistle. We've reached the end of 1 here in Game 5. San Antonio led by as many as 15, but the Wolves rallied back. They finished down 4, so we make the turn for the second quarter next on the Minnesota Timberwolves Radio Network.
You're listening to the Timberwolves Radio Network.
12 minutes up on the scoreboard as we get set for the second quarter play here in Game 5. Timberwolves trailed early by 15. They got it to within 2. They're down 4, 34-30. Chris Finch on the tip-off show when I asked him about how the Wolves kind of struggled without Wemby on the floor after his flagrant foul 2, the elbow. They got him tossed in the second quarter. The Wolves, it took a while to figure out that San Antonio defense.
I actually thought the key to our offensive struggles were more right when Wemby went out, because we were playing really well when he was in there, and we had a chance to grow the lead from 8 to 10, 12 or beyond. Thought we should have and could have been up by double digits at halftime. I think we were only up 6 instead, and yeah, they did a good job of opening up the floor, playing small ball, and they're used to playing without him, so it wasn't like a shocking moment for them.
Wolves needed the big run at the end of the fourth, midway through the fourth, a 28-15 burst to close out the Spurs. First quarter, Wemby a plus 13 in his 8 minutes and 40 seconds on. Spurs were a minus 9 in the 3 minutes and 20 seconds that he was off the floor. Here's Julius Randle back in the game with the 2 personals. Dribbles to the elbow, pulls up over Fox. Soft shot, hit the rim, kissed the glass, off the rim again. Carter Bryant, the rookie into the game for the Spurs, snares the rebound, then turns it over in the front court. Ayo picked his pocket. Now McDaniels on the move, in the paint to the corner. Naz Reid missed the 3. Battle for the rebound. It's out of bounds, awarded to San Antonio. It's just a rare transition opportunity as the Wolves have averaged just 7 fast break points in this series. So when they do get one, Jim, it really stands out. What an opportunity.
Well, I feel like if it wasn't Wembanyama, if it was anybody else, I would assume it would have laid that one up versus throwing it out to the corner.
Wemby throws it to the corner here. Castle up top, Vassell. His pass inside deflected. It goes off Randle out of bounds. 6 to shoot for San Antonio. On the baseline, Castle will trigger in. Again, 6 on the shot clock. They lob it to Wemby against Naz. Got airborne, drops it back out. Carter Bryant with an angle 3. His 3rd 3 of the series.
He actually shoots the ball pretty well. I was disparaging him earlier, but then I had to go back and check his credentials. He was a 37% three-point shooter at Arizona. And he's been a pretty good shooter here at the pro level as well.
34%, not bad.
Respectable.
Yep, especially for your rookie season. Wolves are down by 7 here, 37-30. Naz on the perimeter to TJ in the corner. Hoist with a late clock situation. There was a couple seconds left, but that was an air ball.
A lot of dribbling.
And Fox open in the corner, tamps himself out and carries the 3. Bad offense at one end leads to problems at the other end. Once again, a bad shot is just as bad as a turnover. Randle a corner 3. That's no good. Spurs again on the run now. They lead by 10. Fox feeds it to Castle. Runs into Shannon, and a blocking foul this time on TJ. Oh, and did that shot fall too?
They're going to review this, I bet. I thought TJ was set.
They're going to count the bucket and give Stephon Castle 1 free throw.
Jeff Newton says no.
So TJ trying to pick up his 2nd charge drawn here in the first half. He now has 5 in the series. The rest of the team has combined for 0.
Minnesota's gone cold here since the timeout.
43-30. It's back to a 13-point lead. A whistle stops play before disaster. Julius Randle and Naz Reid just colliding in midcourt.
This is what I'm saying about Mitch Johnson. Like he's talking about being a victim, and Wembanyama's a victim, but they play as physical, and I'm not saying dirty. I'm just saying that they are overly physical, compared to what we see from most teams.
Naz Reid on the move against Wemby. Puts up the shot, no good, and Wemby's got the rebound. He's just dominating right now. Spurs on a 9-0 run. Fox nearly turned it over. Gives it back to Wemby. Around his back, got a little fancy and threw it away. Mitch Johnson says, calm down, big fella. 18 points in 11 minutes on 6 of 8 shooting for Wembanyama. Jaden pulls up on a left side 3 and drains it. The Wolves desperately need Jaden to get going here. He's 4 for 15 in the series. As I mentioned, just 16% in the postseason. That's the one thing that has not come back after his injury late in the year. His three-point shooting.
I'm not sure it was the greatest shot in the world either, as he came down and shot the ball right away in transition, and it was pretty deep too with Wemby contesting the shot. San Antonio comes to the other end. It's a lob attempt to Wembanyama. Jaden McDaniels fouls Wemby on the way to try to catch it, so it's side out here for San Antonio.
Second foul on McDaniels. Castle has the inbound up top. Gets a Wemby screen. Back to Victor on the roll. He kicks it to the corner. Good look for Harper. Missed the three ball, though I think he had a foot on the line. Does not matter as he missed the shot. Here's Randall. Extra pass. Jaden right side. Looks at Wemby. Pulls up on another three. In and out, no. Again, that's not the shot attempt you want with Wembanyama closing out on you.
Just attack the closeout. You want to get him into rotation too.
Castle working against McDaniels. Into the paint, hesitates, rises, and banks it in for two. And Chris Finch wants a timeout. Jaden's fortunate he didn't pick up his third personal foul. You could kind of feel that one coming. 45-33, the Spurs have reestablished a double-digit lead. There's 9:02 left to go in the first half. Spurs up by a dozen on the Timberwolves Radio Network. Left to go in the first half. Spurs back up by a dozen here, 45-33. Timberwolves basketball tonight brought to you in part by Travel South Dakota. If you call yourself an explorer, now's the time to get out there and get lost somewhere you haven't found yet. Plan your next best adventure today at TravelSouthDakota.com. Timberwolves basketball also brought to you by Sezzle. 4-point play in the NBA, that's hard. Splitting your next Wolves purchase into 4 interest-free installments with Sezzle. That's easy. Download the Sezzle app today. Terms and conditions apply. Sezzle, the official jersey patch sponsor of the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves play here in this opening half. They're shooting 46%, but they're allowing 62% shooting to the Spurs. Wolves have turned it over 4 times. They just haven't been in sync. Other than that one run when Wemby went off the floor and the Wolves went on a 17-4 run. That's been their only solid stretch.
Yeah. Minnesota's been settling for some three balls here that have been fairly contested. Jaden made the one, but Minnesota's got to find a way to source some offense here. Julius Randle has not been a part of what Minnesota's done here. Just 1 of 4 here in the game. thus far.
Anthony Edwards brings it up. Carter Bryant assigned to him. Now he switches on to TJ Shannon. Gobert gets the touch right back to TJ. Left to right across your radio. Down by a dozen. Here comes Ant curling off a screen. Makes the catch up top at the three-point line. Here's Rudy setting the screen with 3 to shoot. Back to Rudy. Poor pass by Edwards. It's turned over. Here come the Spurs in transition. Vassell, a pop right wing 3. No. Randall, the weak side rebound. Wolves escape damage. Wolves are beginning trounced in transition in this series. Randall spins in the lane, and he gets himself his first bucket of the night. Nope, his second. 4 points for Julius Randle, 2 of 5 shooting. 45-35, Castle off the Cornet screen with Wemby off the floor right now. Spurs have been a -11 with him off the floor. Pull up for Vassell, no, and Randall's got the rebound. There's TJ on the attack. Gets by Castle. Got bumped. There's no call. Rebound tapped out. Jayden up top. Straight away 3. That rims off, and Castle collects the rebound. I thought Castle nudged TJ on that drive just enough for him to miss it. And Castle with the off arm gets called for an offensive foul.
Is that his third?
Castle, his 3rd personal foul, and he's dismayed that he gets that call. He's so physical with his off arm. Yeah, he hooks it underneath.
Well, he also uses his shoulder to just batter TJ on his way to the rim. I mean, I just didn't know you could just do that, just run through the defender with your shoulder like you're a running back going through a defensive line.
Castle sits down. Johnson and Randall are battling away from the ball here on the left side. Ant's got it on the right wing. Looking for space, nearly lost it. Off the TJ, right back to Ant. 10 to shoot against Carter Bryant. Drives on him, pulls up on a 14-footer. That rims off. Edwards, 2 of 5 shooting to start the game.
San Antonio's just shut off Minnesota's second chance points water big time.
Keldon Johnson on the attack against Randall. Bangs away again, extends the arm, gets away with it, but missed the shot. Keldon Johnson is a big, big guy. Here's Randall, lowers the shoulder on him, but missed the shot inside. Dylan Harper, the rebound. Spurs want to push up the center of the floor. Harper to the wing. Vassell, catch and shoot 3 on the way. Nope, missed it short. Tip follow, Keldon Johnson. Off the bench now with 6 points. Check that, make it 8. 47-35, Spurs by a dozen. 6:50 left to go, 3rd quarter. TJ lowers the shoulder, drives in the paint, off to Rudy, who fumbled it, lost it out of bounds. San Antonio ball.
He's getting shoved from behind. Rudy was getting shoved at the same time he was trying to catch it. He's very frustrated right now with these referees that he's getting a lot of contact and no call.
Harper on the drive, got it. Left of the lane, he squeezed it off with Rudy Gobert closing. 2 more for the Spurs. They're up 49-35. They've shot 56% from the field.
This is danger zone time right here for Minnesota.
Jayden gets a nice screen from Gobert, crossing midcourt, attacks into the paint now at the elbow. Yeah, got Vassell up in the air, then launches himself into Vassell, draws the foul, and Jayden will shoot 2 shots.
It's going to be his second personal.
Wolves are 5 for 5 at the free throw line here in the first half. We have passed the 8 o'clock hour here in the Central Time Zone. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification all across the Minnesota Timberwolves radio network.
Hey, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Potoi playing in the background. We got a good ball game going on. Hey, I'm going back to the background.
First free throw is good for Jaden McDaniels. Along with Jim Peterson, I'm Alan Horton from Frost Bank Center here in San Antonio. Our studio host and executive producer is Cal Soderquist. Our engineer, Ben Hauk. Our statistician, Chase Brown. Our studio coordinators, Alex Leibold and Ben Haney. Glad you're along with us on our flagship back in the Twin Cities. 100.3 FM, KFAN The Fan, iHeartRadio app, Timberwolves mobile app, Sirius XM satellite radio, and all across the vast and ever-expanding Timberwolves radio network. Wolves with 1 more free throw coming from Jaden McDaniels. He hits it, and the Wolves are down by a dozen with 6:20 left to go, 2nd quarter. Mike Conley back on the floor with Ayo Dosunmu, Anthony Edwards, Julius Randle, and Jaden McDaniels. So Julius playing the 5 here with smaller lineup with Jaden at the 4. And a 3-ball for Devin Vassell, wing right. Vassell had missed his first 3 three-point attempts. He hits here. Down by 15 again. Ant fumbles it up top. He has not looked like himself. He's been under a lot of duress. He sees a double. Off to McDaniels. Bangs away with Fox. Finds a cutting Dosunmu for the layup. Well, it's a simple play, Jim. We haven't seen much of that all series.
If there's anybody that's going to cut for a layup, it's going to be Ayo Dosunmu.
Fox with it up top, switched on to Randall, wing right. There's Dylan Harper against Dosunmu. Harper crosses over, drives. Ayo rises up, blocks the shot. He controls it, leads the break, top of the key. Out to Mike, left wing three, missed it. Rebound, Julius Randle was in there, couldn't squeeze it. Dylan Harper comes away with it. What a physical drive by Harper against Dosunmu. Could have called a number of fouls in there both ways. Fox off balance, leans in, the lefty layup, no. It comes off the rim, and the Wolves control. Down by 13 points, 5:07 left. Ayo into the paint, runs into Harper, and a whistle and a foul. Carter Bryant was also over there. They're going to get Harper on the foul.
Just looking for someone to step up here. And Ayo looks like he's in the mix. Pretty good play by Dylan Harper that time. He got a lot of basketball, just a lot of physicality on Ayo's way to the rim. I mean, it'd really be really nice if Ayo Dosunmu could step up here. He's 3 of 4 from the floor. He's going to the free throw line here to add to that.
He's 4 for 4 at the free throw line in this series. He's now 23 of 24 in the postseason. And his scoring has been down last 2 games, only averaging 11 points a game. Timeout in between free throws for San Antonio. 5:06 left to go in the second quarter. Spurs are on top by a dozen. It's 52-40 on the Minnesota Timberwolves radio network.
Sweeping the Sixers and the defending champion Oklahoma City Thunder. Perfect on their postseason so far. 8 straight wins after the sweep of LeBron and the Lakers. An impressive start, but they're only halfway home, says Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah, I mean, we've done our job so far. That's all it really means. We've gone out there, we've executed, we played at a high level, and we've been able to win 8 tough games against really good opponents. That's all it really means. And nothing's guaranteed. Like in the playoffs, no 2 games are the same, especially when you change opponents. So the challenges are all coming up, I guess you can say. Like, everything that we've done so far is behind us. We still haven't reached our goal. We have 2 more series to win to reach our ultimate goal, and that's what we're focused on.
Well, they, of all people, would know how tough the road can get, but they are halfway there after that sweep of the Lakers. Let's get back to the Alamo City. Alan Horton and Jim Peterson.
All right, Cal, thank you. 5:06 left to go here, second quarter. Spurs have led throughout this first half. The Wolves have had one lead of 2 points. Spurs have been up by as many as 15. Wolves shot 58% in the opening quarter. They have struggled in the second. They're just 3 of 14 and 1 of 7 from distance with a couple of turnovers. Dylan Harper talked about splitting the 2 games in Minneapolis and coming home for Game 5.
I mean, I think we're going to keep our head high. I think there's nothing to be down about. First of 4, series wasn't going to be easy. We all knew that, but for all of us, just keeping that mentality of just keep on attacking and just just keep going with the game plan and just being us.
Dylan Harper went down in game 4, injured his left knee. He was questionable for tonight's game with left knee soreness, just like De'Aaron Fox. Right ankle soreness. Both of them playing, and both of them playing pretty well. Spurs up by a dozen with Ayo at the free throw line. Misses the second free throw. Got iced by Mitch Johnson. Son of a gun.
Told you.
We had a discussion in the break about icing free throw shooters. Coaches intentionally calling timeout between free throws to ice free throw shooters. Backdoor Vassell on the lob. Wow. Harrison Barnes put it up there on a platter, and Vassell just gobbled it all up.
San Antonio's done a great job of taking Julius Randle out of this series. They have completely shut down his ability to do what he does in Minnesota's offense. It's really hurt the Wolves' efficiency as well.
Edwards has 8 points. He's got it up top against Devin Vassell. 3 to shoot now with 2. Gives a hand grenade to Ayo. Pulls up at the buzzer and didn't get it off in time. It's the Wolves' second shot clock violation of the first half. And again, when Ant just has that tendency when he gets the ball just to eat up time with his dribble.
Yeah, he dribbles at least 7-8 seconds. And when you're starting the possession at 17, it's not good.
Fox off the high Wemby screen, who's back on the floor. Spurs are plus 21 with him on the floor, and Fox drains the 17-footer.
They just score so easy
when he's on the floor. Nas spins, got it poked free from Keldon Johnson out of bounds. There's 4 to go in the first half, and the Wolves face their largest deficit of the game.
I mean, who can score that easy for Minnesota? De'Aaron Fox just finds just a little screen. He comes off that screen, he's open, and he just knocks down shots. And these guys share the basketball so well.
Vassell out, Champagnie in. And their guards, whether it's Fox, Castle, Vassell, Harper, and Johnson, just can rotate them in and out. And Harrison Barnes in limited minutes has been really good. Here's Ant on a post-up. Cross court, spots Nas. Takes a run on Keldon Johnson into the paint, runs it up over Wemby. I think that shot got blocked. Wemby controls the rebound. 56-40. And an offensive foul against Keldon Johnson crossing midcourt. Mike Conley was able to draw it. Johnson shoved off right in front of John Goebel, who made the call.
He literally has his arm
up in his neck and shoving off. Ayo pulls up left side 3, missed it long. Wemby the rebound.
Wolves are just letting San Antonio off the hook. They don't have to defend at all.
Nope. Fox, wing right. Here's Champagnie. Right back to Fox. Got a step on Julius Randle. In the paint, lobs it up. Wemby throws it down. Too easy right now. Spurs are shooting 58% in this first half. Wolves down to 40%. Here's Edwards. Over midcourt off the Randle screen. Again sees 2. Bounce it to Ayo. Attacks down the lane and finishes with a two-handed stuff. That's one way to score on Wemby. Attack the rack with some pace and purpose. Don't let him catch up to you.
The Wolves haven't come close to attacking the way they did in game 1. They said they weren't going to stop, but they have.
Spurs with 2:50 left. Fox brings it up, and boy, a whistle and a hand check on Ayo Dosunmu. Didn't seem like there was a whole lot in that. That will be the 3rd team foul against Minnesota here in the quarter. Both teams are at 3.
It wasn't a lot compared to what we've seen here in the first half, too. All the physicality we've seen on both sides of the ball. Minnesota still does not have a double-figure score in this game. Ayo's right there at 9.
Harrison Barnes off the inbound, watched by the big man Naz Reid. Sets up a bigger man, Victor Wembanyama in the paint. That was halfway down, it spun out. Ayo tiptoes the baseline and saves it to Mike Conley. Wolves are down by 16. They're shooting just 4 of 17 here in the second quarter. Randle with it against Harper up top. Pounding the dribble with the right hand, drifting right. Now Bump puts up the shot. No, finally the whistle. Ben Taylor blows it from the far side. Crowd doesn't like it, but that's the reason Randle pulled up on that shot. He's done that so many times, and there was definitely contact. It'll be Randle's first trip to the stripe here tonight.
I mean, that's the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander special right there.
It is.
Drive it into the chest of the defender who is not in legal guarding position and draw the foul.
Randall knocks down the first. Timberwolves basketball tonight here in Game 5, brought to you in part by U.S. Bank, proud to be the official bank of the Timberwolves, and by Treasure Island Resort Casino. Book your stay now at TICasino.com. Visit the island, Treasure Island Resort and Casino.
Minnesota, Julius Randle's getting ready to shoot his second free throw here. Minnesota is 9 of 10. San Antonio just 8 of 12. So that's one area that Minnesota has a little bit of advantage, and Julius knocks down the second one. So 10 of 11 for Minnesota.
Boy, someone touched the ball after it went through the hoop. It'll be the second delay of game, and that is a technical foul. So the Wolves had 38 delay of games in the regular season, and 6 times they had 2 in one game, which resulted in a technical. Both those numbers led the NBA, by the way. And this is the first time in the postseason they've had 2 in one game. Chris Finch will often describe his players as being petulant sometimes with the kind of calls they pick up and some of those delay of games. And
yeah, Naz Reid was the one that knocked the ball away from the San Antonio player after Julius's free throw went in.
It really should be the second. It feels like the Wolves have had 3, but only maybe called for 1 up until that point. 59-44 after the technical. Wolves are down by 15. Wemby hasn't left the lane. Julius Randle on him. Spin move baseline. Wemby falls into the corner, literally the floor. Missed the shot. Harper offensive rebound, no. Barnes an offensive rebound. Now to Wemby, left side. Triple try, short. And Ayo's got the rebound. Dosunmu on the push. Looking right, it's Naz Reid. Camped out for a 3. Wing right hits it.
Well, that's a big sequence right there. San Antonio gets a couple shot attempts. Minnesota's able to clear the rebound with Ayo's digging it out, and then gets it up to Naz for the 3.
Here's Wemby again, working against Randle. Julius cut him off nicely. Forces a kick out to Fox. Now Fox against Randle, steps back, lobs it inside. Wemby with the catch, and he is fouled. Again, Wemby just kind of goes down awkwardly. It's the 3rd foul on McDaniels. I was going to say, on the prior possession, when Spurs had 3 shots at it, the first one was Wemby falling, a fadeaway. And he still crumples to the ground. Well, he goes down a lot like Joel Embiid goes down.
Well, when he gets the ball in the middle of the floor, he's bullying his way into the paint. He's way stronger than when someone maybe has an advantage on him and he just crumples to the ground and gets the call. It's unethical basketball.
There is not a lot of contact on a lot of the times that Wemby goes down. There's no doubt teams are physical against him. That's everybody's game plan. There's nothing new there. 59-47, 12-point game, 90 seconds left to go first half. Fox off the Wemby screen. Gets into the paint, drops it back out. Victor straight away on the 3. It's short. Ayo the rebound. Grab and go. Ayo's provided a burst of speed. Here's Ayo baseline. Against Champagnie all the way through left wing. Circles around to the elbow. Drops it back. Here's Randle with it against Champagnie. Crosses over between the legs into the paint. Step by Wemby. Up to Rudy. His shot no at the rim. May have been the second block for Wembanyama. Spurs control on the push. Fox left wing. Working against Ant. Step back 3 on the way. Off front rim, no. Randle the rebound with 50 seconds left to play. Down by 12. Series tied 2 games apiece. Randle to the baseline. Ant catch and shoot jumper, but a whistle stops play and an offensive foul against Rudy Gobert. He was setting a screen for either Randle or Edwards. And he gets called for his second personal foul. Spurs will bring it up here right to left, up by 12. 40 seconds left to go, second quarter. Wolves have turned it over 3 times here in the quarter. Shooting just 26%. 3-ball Vassell straight away, rims off, rebound tapped out. Dylan Harper's got it. Another opportunity for San Antonio. Fox inside of midcourt, watched by Dosunmu. 8 on the shot clock. Use the left hand to get down the lane. Runs by Ant. The layup is no good. Naz Reid's got the rebound. 16 seconds left. The Wolves can hold for the final shot. Boy, a 3 would be large here. Get this to 9 at the break. You could live with that. Edwards with it. Inside of midcourt with 4. Now with 3. Doubled. His pass deflected. Randle has it. Free throw line. Fall away. No at the buzzer. And the Wolves are down by 12 going to halftime. Minnesota, after shooting 58% in the opening quarter, shoots 5 for 20. 25% in the second quarter of play. Timberwolves have work to do to slow down Victor Wembanyama. He's got 21 points, 11 rebounds, and when he's been on the floor, the Spurs are a plus 21. They're a minus 9 when he's off the floor. At the half, San Antonio leads Game 5, 59-47. Stay tuned. Cal Soderquist anchors your halftime coverage next, all across the Minnesota Timberwolves radio network.
Hey, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me Tuesday night, West Side. This is still a good game. This is still a good game. It's halftime. Get some grub, have a beverage, have a smoke. Do it responsibly. See you in about 10 or 12 minutes. Appreciate y'all.
It up. Wemby throws it down. Too easy right now. Spurs are shooting 58% in this first half. Wolves down to 40%.
Back like he never left, Victor Wembanyama puts together an impressive all-around first half. How about a 21-point, 11-rebound double-double? Finished off that alley-oop from De'Aaron Fox right there late in the second quarter to put the Spurs up 18. And the Wolves able to whittle it down to a 12-point deficit, but still a first 24 minutes dominated by Wemby and the Spurs. Welcome inside the halftime show. Cal Soderquist here with you in our NBA Tonight studios. We'll dive deeper into that first half box score and help parse through what went wrong for Minnesota in those first two frames in San Antonio. We'll also get to a few more of the first half highlights, and we'll nominate our hot player of the half, as especially in that second quarter, both offensives cooling considerably. We'll then catch you up on what's to come tomorrow evening in the association, another important Game 5, this time in the Eastern Conference. And then just before that third quarter begins at the Frost Bank Center in San Antonio, Alan and Jim will chat with assistant coach Pablo Prigioni. But first to those highlights, this series shifting back to San Antonio for a pivotal Game 5. The Wolves had the heroic fourth quarter comeback sparked by Anthony Edwards in Sunday's Game 4 victory. And throughout the history of the NBA playoffs, when a series is tied at 2 games apiece, the team that wins that Game 5 goes on to win the series nearly 82% of the time in history. So that tells you the importance of this one tonight. And Minnesota did build a very, very early lead, a 5-3 advantage, but the Spurs quickly able to find their footing. And Victor Wembanyama, after missing nearly two-thirds of Sunday's Game 4 due to that ejection, well, he was quickly making up for lost time.
So they force the ball out of his hands, but Wemby gets it right back, open, looking at 3, and he drains it. It's all Wemby all the time. It's now a 21-4 run. Spurs are up by 15.
A 15-point cushion, 21-4, as good as the run would get. How about 18 first-quarter points for Wemby, 6 of 8 from the field. He knocked down 2 of his 3 triple tries, also pulled down 6 rebounds as well. The Wolves, to their credit, did put together a 17-4 push to climb as close as 2 late in that opening frame, but the Spurs pushed their lead back to 4 at the end of 1. 34-30. Anthony Edwards paced the way for the Wolves with 8 in that opening quarter. Both teams largely got what they wanted offensively. Both clubs shot nearly 60% from the field, but again, it was the Wolves trailing by 4 after those opening 12 minutes. And when the second quarter got going, San Antonio picking up where they left off with a quick 9-0 burst.
Wolves are down by 7 here, 37-30. Nas on the perimeter to TJ in the corner. Hoists with a late clock situation. There was a couple seconds left, but that was an air ball.
A lot of dribbling.
And Fox open in the corner, tamps himself out, and buries the 3. Bad offense at one end leads to problems at the other end once again.
Yeah, the Spurs have been great in this first half at making Minnesota pay for their mistakes. De'Aaron Fox doing the damage there. 12 points for him in his 18 first-half minutes. He shot 4 of 8 from the field. That was his only triple. Also dished out 3 dimes. He ties backcourt partner Steph Castle for team-high honors with those 3 assists. But the Spurs score the first 9 points of that second quarter, and as the frame went along, the San Antonio surge continued. They built that lead up as large as 18. The Wolves in danger of falling behind by 20-plus. Put together one final rally. Naz Reid helping contribute.
Barnes an offensive rebound. Now to Wemby, left side, triple try, short. And Ayo's got the rebound. Dosunmu on the push. Looking right, it's Naz Reid. Camped out for a 3. Wing right hits it.
Well, that's a big sequence right there. San Antonio gets a couple shot attempts. Minnesota's able to clear the rebound with Ayo's digging it out, and then gets it up to Naz for the 3.
Good hit from Naz Reid. He's the only Timberwolves player to knock down multiple triples in this first half. He's got 8 points in total, 3 of 7 from the field, and he is our hot player of the half. Brought to you by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930. Visit them online at standardheating.com. Wolves as a team struggled from the three-point line, hitting just 31% of their attempts. They shot just 41% from the field in that first half, and that's largely due to a second quarter that saw Minnesota hit just 5 of their 20 field goal attempts. That's a 25% mark. They shot just 2 of 9 from the three-point line, and the Spurs took advantage, turning that lead that was 4 after 1 into a 12-point cushion at the halftime intermission. Wemby leads all scorers with his 21-point, 11-rebound double-double. Fox is into double figures as well with a dozen. Meanwhile, for the Wolves, Ayo Dosunmu has 9 points on 4 of 6 shooting, both Ant and Naz with 8 points just behind him. The Wolves with work to do, down a dozen at the break. We'll break. We'll come back, tell you about action elsewhere in the association. No other games tonight, but a big Game 5 tomorrow. We'll get you caught up right here on the Timberwolves Radio Network. but not nearly as much damage in terms of second chance points from Minnesota. They had 24 of those in Sunday's Game 4 victory, just 2 from their 2 offensive rebounds in the first half here tonight, and the Spurs dominated the painted area, nearly doubling up the Wolves 30-16 inside. So the Wolves down 12, still with 2 quarters to cut into that deficit in this pivotal Game 5. No other NBA action tonight, but tomorrow we'll have a big Game 5 in Detroit as the top-seeded Pistons host the Cavs with that series all square at 2 games apiece. Third quarter action just around the corner. The guys chat with Pablo Prigioni next on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
You're listening to the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Frost Bank Center here in San Antonio for Game 5. Spurs lead it by a dozen, 59-47. Jim been working hard during the halftime, I like to say. I like to tout my own hard work here a little bit. Adding up how the Wolves shot when Wemby was off the floor versus when he's on the floor.
Hey, I appreciate y'all hanging out. Halftime is just about over. Appreciate the likes. Welcome to the new people. Potoi. Hey, we should have a better second half. Anthony Edwards got to get it going if they plan on having a prayer of a chance of winning. And that's for real. They don't have a chance if that doesn't take place.
There's no doubt he has
not a chance
Will
in hell.
Chamberlain effect
or
on
not in
teams
hell.
with his size and
wherever
timing
else.
and the way that they play him too. They keep him at the bottom
seriously,
of the floor.
appreciate y'all.
And then it's incumbent upon you you got to make perimeter shots. But one of the things that makes this Spurs team particularly good is not only is Wemby good, but their team is so good at covering on the perimeter. They are an exceptional defensive team, much like the OKC Thunder, how they have all these A defenders out on the perimeter.
And it doesn't seem to bother them that none of their guys really have playoff experience. I mean, Fox has only been there twice. Castle, this is his first postseason. Vassell, first. Champagny, first. Wembanyama, first. Dylan Harper, first. Keldon Johnson, first. I mean, you got to go all the way down to Harrison Barnes and Luke Cornett to find 2 guys that actually have gone deep in the postseason and won titles. Pablo Prigioni is along with us here courtside. Pablo, what's the biggest thing you guys touched on at the offensive end to try to get some rhythm going, especially when Victor Wembanyama's on the floor?
Well, we got to play with more force first, and we got to handle pressure. I mean, if they pressure, we got to just get downhill, find the open guy. Obviously, they're putting 2 on the ball on end all the time, every possession. So we need good spacing, and got to find the teammates early so we can play out of that.
Pablo, what do you make of the physicality of this game? It's they've been particularly physical, especially when they're on the offensive end, barreling their way into the painted area. I feel like the referees are letting you play, but also at what cost?
I mean, we got to do the same. I mean, they just put the head down, get downhill, shoulder hit, and try to finish. That's what they've been doing for the first four games, and they're doing it this game. So we got to stand them up, and we got to play with the same force on the other end.
Pablo, appreciate the visit. Good luck second half.
Thank you, guys.
Pablo Prigioni along with us here, 59-47. It's the Spurs who lead by 12, trying to take a 3 games to 2 series advantage. Timberwolves basketball tonight brought to you in part by Wings Credit Union. Put Wings Credit Union in your starting lineup to help meet your financial goals. Wings members enjoy some of Minnesota's best savings and lending rates, convenient digital banking, and access to over 80,000 surcharge-free ATMs. Visit wingscu.com to learn more. Insured by NCUA, membership required. Timberwolves were only down 4 going into the second quarter, but they got outscored 25-17 in that second frame. They shot 5 for 20, 2 of 9 from deep, and had 4 turnovers in that second quarter. And our statistician, Chase Brown, came up with this stat. In the 3 second quarters that the Wolves have played on the road here at the Frost Bank Center, they are averaging just 31% shooting. Something about these second quarters, the Wolves have not been able to get anything going offensively.
Yeah, but they got to stop turning the ball over, and I like how this coaching staff puts it back on their players. Pablo is saying, like, look, like they're playing physical, yes, but we have to do the same thing. And I thought Ayo tried to do that in that second quarter. He tried to take the San Antonio Spurs off the bounce. He was driving it strong. He was rebounding the basketball, and he was kind of setting the tone. A non-Anthony Edwards player trying to make things happen.
5 points, 5 rebounds in that second quarter for Ayo Dosunmu, who played 9 minutes in that stretch. Here's Ant with a little pace and purpose, a little giddy up in his step. Sets up Ayo in the corner right in front of the Wolves bench. What a way to start the third. A 3-ball makes it a single-digit San Antonio lead. There's Castle. Shoving off on Ayo. He's got a staggered screen set up top, and now Castle down the right side of the lane swings it left side. Vassell, a contested 3, no, and Ayo's got the rebound.
Another rebound for Ayo Dosunmu.
He's got a team-high 8. Here's Ant with it, with some pace off the Gobert screen at the elbow. Looking to facilitate, bounces off the Randall. Up top, catch and shoot 3 on the way. Off the back iron, no good. And it hit over the backboard and hit one of the stanchions, or one of the arms that holds up the clock. Nice new round clocks this season. I almost forgot that was introduced at the beginning of the year. Fox draws some contact baseline, got his shot rejected. He thought he got fouled. Here's Dosunmu on the push. McDaniels drops it for Edwards. Ant with Fox on him. Ant likes the matchup to the baseline. That engages Wemby. He steps through. He scoops. Couldn't get it there to the rim, but he drew the foul, and he'll go to the free throw line for 2.
Another great defensive play by Ayo Dosunmu at the other end. He gets the shot block and ignites the fast break for Minnesota. Anthony Edwards spends a lot of time trying to size up defenders. He had De'Aaron Fox on him, but Wemby was right there lurking. Foul was called on De'Aaron Fox. It's a good matchup for Ant with De'Aaron Fox on him because he's so much smaller. But it just takes the rhythm away from Minnesota's offense. There's no ball movement. It's hard to argue with Ant's success rate. He got 2 free throws there. They need him to get going as well. Just 5 shot attempts for Anthony Edwards.
Fox left wing, drives on McDaniels, stops on the logo, left of the lane. Now Vassell attacks Gobert inside and got it partially blocked, or he was trying to lob it up there, but McDaniels was the only one who went up for the ball, and Jaden comes away with it. Wolves have it here, trailing by 7. Edwards, baseline right, sees Wemby, sees Fox, tries to step through again, now just rises for the tough 2 and hits it! 59-54. You gotta love the way the Wolves have come out of the locker room. It's a 7-0 Minnesota run, and the lead is down to 5. Now whistle and a foul. It'll go against Ayo Dosunmu. He got called for grabbing the jersey, which is what Ben Taylor was signaling. Mike Nora yelling, stay connected. Here's Castle on the push into the paint right to the rim. Rudy backed off. He went back to Wembanyama.
Certainly did. You got to be able to do 2 things if you're Gobert. You've got to be able to take away the shot, and you got to be able to go back to Wemby at the same time.
Ant fouled on the perimeter here. Champagnie committed it. He was out of position.
It's one of those techniques where if you're the big dropping, you've got to contest the shot and have this offhand in the passing lane trying to deflect it if they try to lob it. Yep. You have to be able to do it's one of the reasons why Luke Cornett is so good, because he's able to do that very thing.
Ant with it against Vassell. Used up his dribble at the elbow. Now to Dosunmu, runs right into Ant's man. Spins away from that to the baseline. Pull up jumper, no. And Rudy fouls Castle coming up the floor. It's going to be his 3rd. Rudy was just trying to run back down the floor and took a swipe at Castle.
Minnesota shooting 41.9%, and they have 2 second chance points. They have not been able to get any second chance points.
McDaniels has 3, Gobert has 3. And we have 9:30 left to go in the third quarter. Fox takes a run on Jaden. Into the paint, nice little hesitation move. Rises under duress, missed the layup. Jaden McDaniels rips it down, feeds Randall on the run. Extra pass to Dosunmu, left wing. Zips it inside. Rudy with a catch. He's got 2 on him, feeding it to Randall for the lay-in, but it comes well after the whistle. They fouled Gobert.
Champagny fouls Rudy Gobert. Rudy was getting ready to wrap it around to Julius Randle, but Champagny just intentionally fouled Rudy Gobert as he was trying to go up.
There's Rudy, spins away from Wembanyama, bumps with him, nearly traveled, feeds Ayo on the move. He decides never mind and kicks out to Julius Randle. 5 to shoot against Castle, mid-post left, hangs to the opposite corner. McDaniels catch and shoot 3. What a feed by Randle, and Jaden knocks down his second 3 of the night. Give him his third 3 of the night.
An impossible angle from that pass from Julius Randle.
And Castle lost it out of bounds off his leg. Tide starting to turn the Wolves back to within 4.
That's how you stand up a drive right there. Castle was driving with his right hand from the right angle. Julius just stood him up. He dribbled it out of bounds.
Here come the Wolves from right to left here in the second half. The association white jerseys, tops and bottoms. Wolves across the front of their chest. Rudy looking to facilitate. A hand off to Julius. Top of the key to the free throw line. Rises up, double clutching on the shot. It's way offline.
He thought he got fouled too, and he might have.
2 of 9 shooting for Randall here in game 5. Fox on the attack, back the other way, gets doubled inside. Julius reached in, poked the ball free. Fox gets it back, sets up Champagny. Wing 3, no, that rims off. Champagny is 1 of 4 on his triples. Here's Jaden, back the other way, in the paint. Fades over Wembanyama and hits the shot. How about Jaden McDaniels up to 12 points, and the Timberwolves now within 2 after trailing by as many as 18 in the first half. 61-59, timeout San Antonio on the Minnesota Timberwolves Radio Network. Trailed by as many as 18 points. They were down 15 with under 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Right before halftime, they got the final 3 of the second quarter. So they're on a 15-2 run. So from down 15 to within 2 at 61-59. It's similar to what we saw in the first quarter, Jim Peterson. when San Antonio used a 21-4 run to go up by 15. The Wolves responded right back with a 17-4 run, but again, just got to within 2. Couldn't kind of continue the momentum. And obviously Victor Wembanyama had a big part to do with that. But the Wolves playing some good basketball. Ant looks different to me beginning the third quarter.
Well, he's been definitely diligent. He's been taking the basketball and he's been going one-on-one. He's been effective. Ayo Dosunmu got it all started with that corner 3. Minnesota, Jaden McDaniels has made a tough 2 over the top of Wembanyama as well.
Wolves have shot 4 of 7 here in the third. Meanwhile, the Spurs 1 of 5 with a couple of turnovers. You know, you touched on this, I think, in the pregame show that, you know, the deeper we go into every single game, whether it's the second half, third quarter, second half, things get tight. The pressure starts to mount, and it'll be interesting to see. I mean, the Wolves are a more battled, playoff-tested team than San Antonio. And I don't know if we saw some of that in Game 4 where they missed, 12 of their final 16 shots. We'll see how that plays out going forward. Castle has the ball. Spurs left to right. Top of the key. Castle still with it. In the lane, lobs it, and it got deflected. Rudy got a hand to it. Ayo scoops it up, drives in, and scores it in transition. We're tied at 61. The Wolves have come all the way back from an 18-point deficit to tie it with 7:45 left to go in the third.
Minnesota stood up to drive that time, and Gobert did a great job bending back to Wemby, taking away the lob dunk attempt.
Here's the lob inside to Wemby, knocked away by Dosunmu. Timberwolves control the loose ball. They have a chance for their second lead of the night. Anthony Edwards, right side, sees 2, still with a dribble, now spins away from Champagnie, pulls up, 14-footer, in and out, no. That thing was halfway down. Fox back the other way. Crosses the timeline, drifts to his right, sets up Castle wing left. They lob it inside to Wemby. Wow. Makes the catch at the elbow, spins, runs into 2. Wrap around pass to Champagnie in the corner, and he buries the 3.
Ant was guarding Wemby that time in the post when it was thrown into him. Rudy kind of helped, left Champagnie in the corner, and he drained it.
Wolves are back down by 3 as McDaniels sets up Rudy up top. 35 feet out, hands it off to Anthony Edwards, who turns the corner. To the corner, McDaniels. He'll take a runner baseline with a right hand. It hits the rim twice and rolls off. And then Jaden just picked up his 4th personal foul.
Is they going to call it on Gobert?
Well, either way, it's 4 on one of those guys.
It's Jaden. And that means TJ Shannon's going to take off his warm up top and come into the game for Jaden McDaniels.
So Jaden, third. He had gone 2 straight games without picking up 3 fouls in the first half, but he did it in the first half tonight. He's got 4 more fouls, so he's had 36 fouls in his last 8 games now. He is second in the postseason, averaging 4.3 fouls per game.
Keldon Johnson and Dylan Harper coming to the game for San Antonio.
Castle spins on and banks it in for 2. It's just a superior offensive move. Wolves had it tied up, and now the Spurs have gone 5-0. Here's Edwards, left-handed dribble, attacking to the 3-point line. Now he backs it out beyond that 3-point line. Bounce pass, Randall at the elbow, turns, kick out. Here's Shannon in the corner, opposite the Wolves bench. Missed the 3 ball. Offensive rebound. Rudy goes back up. That shot blocked. Was that Keldon Johnson that got up?
He was.
He blocked the shot. It goes off of Gobert, spiked off of Gobert, really. Out of bounds, San Antonio ball.
Pretty good response by San Antonio after Minnesota leveled things up here at 61.
Spurs still waiting to inbound the basketball. 6:12 left to go in the third, 5-point game. Randall comes off the floor, Naz Reid is in. Castle initiates, they lob it to Wemby, wing right, back to Castle on the move, along the baseline, rises up and dunks it. That's way too easy. TJ got caught behind Castle there. Never could catch up. Also didn't get any help. 7-0 Spurs run. They're up by 7. Ayo, a little floater. Teardrop. Got it to drop.
His floater's on now, baby.
Ayo Dosunmu, 16 points, 9 rebounds, 3 dimes. In the paint, tough shot. It's up for Castle, and he connects. Knifing between defenders and getting the Frost Bank Center roll. Ant doubled off to Ayo. They lob it to the corner, and Naz Reid. Naz against Castle, starts to back him down. Now to a cutting Ayo. and bounces it, looking for Rudy and the Dunkers. Rudy was vacating the area. It's turned over. There comes Castle off to Harper. Extra pass to the corner. Keldon Johnson. Johnson works across the lane on Anthony Edwards. Gets under the bucket. He'll rise up. He'll finish. 11-2 is the Spurs run. The Wolves had momentum coming out of the locker room, but San Antonio has woken up. They now lead by 9, 5:09 left to go in the third. And San Antonio, that home crowd, is rocking and rolling here midway through the third. You're listening to Minnesota Timberwolves basketball.
The Knicks are waiting to see who emerges from that Pistons-Cavs series. It's all knotted up at 2 games apiece after that impressive 39-point second half from Donovan Mitchell in last night's Game 4 Cavs victory. Pistons head coach J.B. Bickerstaff on how they can better limit Mitchell in tomorrow's Game 5.
I mean, we just didn't do the job. And he's electric, you know what I mean? Like, if you let him get going, we know what he's capable of. And, you know, he hits some tough shots, but that's what he does. So we just got to do a better job, you know, all around. You know, keeping him off the free throw line if we can, but, you know, challenging all his catches, you know, executing our coverages and making it difficult on him.
The good news for the Pistons, that Game 5 will take place in the Motor City, and the Cavs have yet to win a game away from home in this postseason. They're perfect on their home floor, but winless away from home, so we'll see if that streak holds true in tomorrow night's Game 5 in Detroit. Let's get back to San Antonio. Alan Horton and Jim Peterson.
Boy, Cal, this game has had a ton of runs in it, and the Wolves are always playing catch-up. They've led for 9 seconds in this game, and we're midway through the third quarter. They've been down by 15, rallied to within 2. They trailed by 18. They rallied to tie it up, and now San Antonio, an 11-2 run over the last 2 minutes and 2 seconds. That's how quickly they can strike. 11-2 in 2 minutes and 2 seconds, and the Wolves are back down by 9. Every time they make these runs, you just wonder how much it takes out of them and how much more they have left to now make another run.
Yeah. Well, and Anthony Edwards is going to sit down at some point, so who's going to give Minnesota offense? Julius Randle still has not done much in this game. Just 2 of 9 for Julius. He's got 6 points in the game and 3 rebounds in 22 minutes.
San Antonio started the second half 1 of 5 shooting. They now hit 5 shots in a row. They keep Wemby on the floor with Castle, Johnson, Champagnie, and Harper. TJ Shannon, Julius Randle, Ayo Dosunmu, Naz Reid, and Anthony Edwards on the floor in white for Minnesota. Ayo wing left. Here's Ant. Quick move on Castle, steps through, runs it off glass, and hits it. Good, quick decision off the catch by Anthony Edwards, and he's rewarded.
And playing Ant off ball, too, and he's getting some away screens that are freeing him up.
72-65, down by 7. Castle lobs it inside. Wemby with a catch to the right elbow. To the left angle, Champagnie now back inside. Keldon Johnson lobs it to Castle. Timing was off. Castle does have it. Saves it to Wemby under the basket. Missed the bunny. The rebound loose and scooped up by Julius Randle. Wolves have numbers here, 5 on 3. Randle to Edwards, and puts on the deck, drives in, and got the foul. Would have been a little easier with some extra ball movement. There were open players around, but Ant does end up at the free throw line for 2 shots.
Champagnie really got his money's worth that time. He slapped down on Ant's right arm.
I feel like I could hear that from here.
And then Ant,
ouch,
because he slapped down so hard, his arm recoiled and slapped Champagnie right in the face.
First free throw is good for Anthony Edwards. 6 for 6 at the free throw line. In case you were wondering, yep, our whistle guy is back. Never misses a game. And he loves to whistle when the visiting team, in this case the Timberwolves, get to the free throw line. It's going to be annoying if you're sitting near that guy.
Well, I saw him in the restroom after the game, after game 2, and he was super annoying to be in the restroom with. Let me tell you that.
Harper misses the elbow jumper. Wemby soaring in for the rebound, was actually under the basket, reached back out with the right hand, tapped it in, and he drew a foul on TJ Shannon. Wemby's got 23 points to go along with 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 block shots. He has been a problem.
I feel like in order for Minnesota, for Rudy Gobert, like they really need Rudy. If he's not going to be involved in the offense, he's got to do some work on the second chance points. He's been denied at the rim a few times tonight. He's not gotten involved at all offensive rebound in the basketball.
And against Harper, left of the lane, got his shot blocked, controlled by Wemby. Here come the Spurs on the run. It's Keldon Johnson banging his way towards the rim, missed the shot. Well, there was a whistle and a foul. 2 shots upcoming for Keldon Johnson. Dylan Harper has been the biggest problem in transition. Heading into tonight, he had 19 fast break points. But Keldon Johnson was right behind him with 16 fast break points. Well, the Wolves averaging 7 a game. I mean, Harper and Johnson outscoring the Wolves as a team in transition in this series. And TJ's really been the only Timberwolf to push the pace. Heading into the night, he had 11 fast break points. Ant had 5, the rest of the team, 13 combined. Johnson, 2 free throws are good. Spurs back up to a double-digit advantage with 3:45 to go in the third. Wolves started the quarter down by a dozen. They got it tied up, but now they are down by 10 once again. Here's Randall with it against Wemby. Lowers the shoulder, pushes him out of the way, puts up the shot with the right hand. No tip, followed by Julius. That would drop. Wemby snares the rebound. 2 more missed shots against Wemby. Wolves cannot solve that problem, and it's a big, big problem. Drive by Keldon Johnson. He's fouled by Naz Reid. And that'll be free throws coming up.
Keldon Johnson attacked him as he closed out in the corner. Naz did put his hands on him.
So Johnson doing the smart thing, right? Attacking the closeout.
Attack the closeout.
Like we've talked about that for 4.5 games now.
And you know, it's one of the things that it's so hard to do as you are running towards a player and they decide to drive it against you, to not extend your arms to keep them in front. Wemby's going to sit down right now. Luke Cornett comes into the game.
Cornett a -9 in the first half. It's not an easy job to fill in, whether it's backing up Jokic in Denver or backing up Wemby here. Like, it's always, teams are always going to be eager to see you on the floor and looking to attack you. 79-67, the Wolves down by a dozen. Gobert feeds it to Edwards, up top against Cornett. Nice crossover, a drive, and the finish at the rim. Wemby off floor, rim open, layup good for Ant. He's now got 18. Spin move, Fox spins in the lane, got deflected. It's out of bounds, says Carl Lane, the 15th year
At the same time, you know, Luke Cornett is a pretty good rim defender. He does do good work.
He's not a bad player. Like, And Valanciunas in his own right in Denver, maybe not at this point in his career, but a serviceable and starter in his career. And Cornette was really good in Boston. 81-69, again down by a dozen. Vassell pokes it away from Conley, crossing midcourt.
Was that not a foul on Devin Vassell, who reaches across Mike's body and deflects the ball, yes, but it was a complete foul before he deflected it. It's just frustrating when you see how they referee Rudy Gobert and Mike Conley.
Here's Ant off the Gobert screen, lost the dribble, got it back, now tries to split two, dribbled it off the foot of Rudy. Then on the floor, tried to get it back to Rudy, threw it right to Keldon Johnson, who runs to the rim and scores it for two. Three turnovers on Anthony Edwards. It's been a disastrous second half of the third quarter.
You're always having to climb this mountain. They climbed it to start the third quarter, and they actually did a great job. They got leveled up, and then it's just been all San Antonio since then.
Spurs right now on an 11-2 run. They're up by 14.
It was 61 all at one point. Minnesota's only scored 8 points in this stretch.
Ayo on the attack to the cup. Your guy, Luke Cornette, blocks the shot, but then a whistle and a foul as Rudy's crashing the glass. It'll be loose ball against San Antonio. Wolves used a 14-2 run here in the third, 17-2 dating back to the end of the second, to tie it up at 61. And the Wolves have been outscored 22-8 since then. Free throw good for Rudy Gobert. First free throw attempt of the game. Rudy's only gotten 3 shots. Free throw line, this is his first trip. 3 points, 5 rebounds. No blocks for Gobert. 2 free throws are both good. Rudy was shooting 42% at the free throw line in this series. 83-71, down by a dozen, 2 to go here in quarter number 3. Dylan Harper initiates the offense off the Cornette screen, down the lane, lobs it back to Cornette. Gobert and Naz Reid were both there. The ball comes, it was a missed dunk, but Harper gets the offensive rebound and puts it back up and in. I was watching Gobert, it looked like he was holding his hand. I thought something serious may have happened to him. Naz Reid with it up top from Devin Vassell to the corner, and Dosunmu baseline drive. Circling around out of the free throw line. Randall now with it. 90 seconds left to go in the third. Randall bumps with Keldon Johnson, goes up for the shot, and drew the reach-in foul on Johnson. 2 free throws coming up for Julius. Straight up 9 o'clock here in the Central Time Zone. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification all across the Minnesota Timberwolves Radio Network.
Appreciate y'all hanging out. Hey, there's plenty of time left in this game. I still don't know who's going to win. Do you? Back to the background.
Julius Randle at the free throw line for 2 shots. Along with Jim Peterson, I'm Alan Horton. We're in San Antonio, game 5. Wolves have only led for 9 seconds the entire night. That was back in the first quarter. Our engineer, Ben Hauk, our statistician, Chase Brown, our studio host and executive producer, Cal Soderquist, our studio coordinators, Alex Leibold, Ben Haney along with you. 100.3 FM, KFA and The Fan back in the Twin Cities, iHeartRadio app, Timberwolves mobile app, Sirius XM satellite radio, and all across the Timberwolves radio network. 2 free throws good for Randall. He's 4 for 4 at the line. The Wolves are 18 of 19 at the free throw line. It's 95%, Jim. You can live with that number.
It's a win.
Down by 12. Fox to the elbow with a minute to go in the quarter. Into Cornette. Back out to Fox. Catch and shoot opportunity. Missed it short. Offensive rebound. Harper put back inside. He got it. Well, he's got better size than Mike Conley. He just went right over Mike's back to secure that.
His ability to finish around the rim, is excellent.
Harper's got 6 points to go along with 8 rebounds. Randall inside, shuffles it off to Rudy, who goes up on Cornette. Missed it. I think he lost it on the way up. Here the Spurs on the push. Harper to the rim. Layup is good. 8 points, 8 rebounds for Dylan Harper. Just like that, Wolves are down by 16. Spurs' largest lead, 18, back in that second quarter. Ayo Dosunmu, wing left with 30 seconds left to go, third quarter. Left-handed dribble. Got Vassell on his hip. Into the paint, lobs it for Rudy, knocked away by Cornette. Fox able to control. Hesitates at the elbow, drops it back out. There's a 2-second differential, game clock and shot clock. Wolves are down by 16. Fox with it inside of midcourt. Shot clock into single digits. Harper, the high screen. Fox rejects it, drives in the paint, got bumped from behind. The floater wouldn't drop. Io picks up the foul. That'll be his third. Fox to the free throw line, where he's 3 for 3 tonight. 6 for 6 in the series.
The jumbo lineup is not being good in this stretch.
In this series, Chris Finch has gone to the big three, Randall, Gobert, and Naz Reid for 8 minutes up until tonight. And they've been a plus 12 during those 8 minutes. But you're right, last couple of minutes have not fared well.
It's just not, it's not what Anthony Edwards is getting ready to check in the game, and Wembanyama is too, by the way.
Spurs able to add to this run with Wemby off the floor. Harper's kind of being attended to with his left elbow. It might just be a cut.
It was questionable before the game, and he had taken a fall in the fourth quarter where his leg got kind of caught underneath him, and he kind of wrenched his knee. So he had a knee, and De'Aaron Fox had an ankle.
8.3 left to go in the quarter. Wolves are down by 18 points, matching their largest deficit of the game. Conley on a run into the paint to Randall in the corner. 3-ball no, as Wemby charged out, affected the shot, and the Wolves, who worked so hard to get it back, tied up at 61. Then watch the Spurs outscore them 30-12 the final 6-7 minutes of that third quarter. More work to be done. Down by 18. Heading for the fourth quarter next in San Antonio. Game 5 with the series tied 2 games apiece on the Minnesota Timberwolves Radio Network.
You're listening to the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Minutes up on the scoreboard. We get set for the fourth and final quarter of play in Game 5. The Wolves down by 18 points, 91-73. It's been a rough night for Julius Randle, just 8 points, 2 of 12 shooting, 0 of 4 from distance. No turnovers for Julius. That's been a problem of late, but I asked Chris Finch before the game about the struggles that Julius Randle has had at times in this series.
What we need him to do is what he's doing. I think he's doing a lot of really good stuff, dirty work, things, you know, like physical defense. He's guarding guards. He's rebounding the ball. He's making plays. Like in Game 3, he had 14 driving kicks opportunities. We didn't make a single point out of any of them. That's not his fault. He made all the right plays there. He's not scoring. They've marked him as a guy they feel that they're going to load up to, try to take out of the series. They double him as much as they possibly can in his favorite spots, and he's got to do other things, and he's been doing that. So I think he's been a big part of our success so far.
And Julius Randle was a plus 12 during his time on the floor in Game 4. That happened to be a team high plus 12 in his 38 minutes of play. But the Spurs have been able to take too many players for the Wolves out of their game, whether it's Anthony Edwards, Julius Randle, Rudy Gobert. Spurs have it to begin the fourth. Castle with it off a Wemby screen. Doubled back to Wemby on the lob, makes the catch at the elbow against TJ Shannon, leans in, off glass, got it for 2. 26 points, 14 rebounds. He's a plus 23. Jaden McDaniels back on the floor with the 4 fouls. Randle holds, straddling the three-point line. Nas comes to, takes the handoff, launches a 3, no, and Wemby's got the rebound. Wolves are shooting 35% when Wemby's been on the floor tonight. Wemby on a drive, couldn't get the finish. Oh, he did, as Nas got him again. Now, I don't know if they're going to give him the continuation, but I love that second effort by Nas, because the whistle had already sounded. You can't foul a guy twice, and you don't want to let him get the and one. In fact, they call an offensive foul here against Wemby.
They did. I think Wemby, did he get called for a discontinued dribble? He slaps Jaden McDaniels in the face as he takes off on the drive.
Yeah,
so
he had bad intentions at the rim, too. Carter Bryant nearly forced and out of bounds. Here's Edwards on the move, got it poked free, backtrack, scoops it up, got to get across the timeline, didn't do it. 8-second call. Turnover on the Timberwolves. 12th miscue of the game. Down by 20 with 11:17 left to play.
Well, the difference in this series is how much pressure they've been able to put on Anthony Edwards. As great as he's been, he's done it through a lot of duress.
Fox up fakes the 3 on McDaniels. Moves to the free throw line. Out to Castle. Catch and shoot 3. Off the front rim, no. Long rebound. Vassell saves it. It pinballs out of bounds. It'll be San Antonio ball. Castle will trigger in. Nas wanted them to challenge. Chris Finch did look back, but he knows they're not going to have time. Inbound comes to Wemby. 1 minute gone, fourth quarter. Ooh, tried to split 2, lost the ball. It's out of bounds, and it'll be Wolves basketball. Wemby hasn't made a lot of mistakes, but I feel like that was one of them. Kind of tried to split 2, and when you're that tall, when you try to dribble the ball, it goes a long way. Like, he's got to come all the way back up to you.
Especially on the sideline in a crowded situation.
Yeah. Right to left here, TJ Shannon with it. Bounce pass, a dangerous one, but McDaniels has it. Baseline drive, reverse layup. He got it for 2. 14 points for Jaden. 18 for Ant, 16 for Dosunmu. And back the other way, the shot no good inside by Fox. He missed it. Wolves come away with the rebound. Here's Ant on the move against Carter Bryant. Lowers the shoulder, drives in. Off glass, got it for 2. He got flattened. He slaps the floor in frustration, barking at Carl Lane that there was no call. Castle back the other way in the lane. Out to Carter Bryant. Ball movement exceptional to Fox in the corner. He misfires. Aaron Fox now 1 of 4 from distance. Here's Jaden, right side 3. That clangs off the rim. Rebound kept alive. Carter Bryant lost it. Jaden McDaniels was fighting for it as well. Julius Randle comes away with it, and then he's fouled in the act of shooting.
When Minnesota is fighting here big time, trying to keep cutting into this lead, getting stops, getting to the free throw line. Anthony Edwards has been pushing tempo.
I get the feeling they realize it is now or never. I mean, there's 10 minutes left. You're not going to come back from 20 down, now down by 16 here. You can't wait much longer to start making your move, and Julius Randle hits a free throw.
20 points is a lot to make up against this team with just a quarter left. Doesn't mean it's impossible. Wolves have done bigger things against better teams.
Well, the biggest comeback they've had in postseason history, Game 7 against the Nuggets, down 20 with 22 minutes left to play. Randle missed the second free throw, battling for the rebound. It's out of bounds, awarded to San Antonio.
Julius tried to get there. He did touch the ball before it went out of bounds, and he tried to throw it off Wemby, but it hit the baseline out of bounds.
Timberwolves only have 3 double-digit second-half comebacks in postseason history. They're 3 and 41 entering this postseason when down 10 or more points in the second half. Here's Nas after a turnover, kicks it to TJ in the corner, online but long. Randall offensive rebound. Out to the perimeter, McDaniels. Right side, TJ, baseline drive, steps through, kicks out. Edwards with a catch, shoves off on Fox, nearly lost it. It rolls to Nas Reed in the corner. 5 to shoot. Nas pulls up over Vassell and strokes it. 93-81. It's a 12-point game with 9:34 left. Chris Finch right out to John Goble to complain about something. 12-point game with 9:34 left to play. The Wolves making one last push on the Timberwolves Radio Network. .34 left to go in the fourth quarter. Timberwolves on an 8-0 run. They've trimmed the 20-point deficit down to a dozen. Chris Finch on the level of physicality that has developed in this series.
It's long noted that the playoffs are a more physical brand of basketball. I don't think the physicality in this series has been kind of out of context at all. It doesn't feel like it's an overly physical series to me. It's come and gone, with the reaction of certain teams, they were really, really physical in game 2. We were physical, and at times I think it's been pretty appropriate, to be honest with you.
Chris Finch also told us on the tip-off show that he doesn't think the physicality against Wemby is above and beyond. And he took Mitch Johnson's comments after the game more as, hey, that's a coach sticking up for his guy.
Just like Chris Finch stuck up for his guys when Wemby had 12 block shots, and he thought that a few of them were goaltends. It's coaching, just like they're posturing.
Yes.
Like they're just trying to protect their guys, get a narrative out there. Hopefully the referees hear it.
Yeah. 9:34 left. Spurs have it here, left to right. Wemby remains on the floor with Devin Vassell, Julian Champagny, De'Aaron Fox, and Stephon Castle. Wolves have Shannon and Edwards. They're in a zone here with McDaniels in the center. With Randall and Reed on the wings, Castle lobs it up, and Wemby on the alley-oop was met by Nas Reed, and Nas gets called for the foul. When that ball gets tossed up there, it's like a 50-50 ball. I don't know that anybody has...
You're competing. It's like a rebound, really. You're competing for it.
Ball out of bounds. Castle on the drive right to the cup.
Oh, my goodness.
Able to snake his way through.
He did, and threw that thing with 2 hands, man. He threw that thing down hard.
Castle's got 15 points tonight. Jaden straightaway 3. That was big. Knocks that one down. That is his 3rd of the night. I said earlier he had made his 3rd. He's now 3 for 7. He's got 17 points. Here's Fox on the attack. Wow. Without Rudy out there right now, there's no one protecting the rim. Another lay-in right over the front rim.
Wembanyama set a highway screen for him that time. He just got past TJ. There was nobody in front.
Randall feeds TJ. Left of the lane. Back out to Edwards. He'll put it on the deck with 1 dribble. Now to Shannon standing 2 feet away from him. Spacing not good. TJ fires a 3. Blocked by Wembanyama. That's his 3rd rejection of the game. Defensive player of the year doing it all. Spurs lead it by 13. Off front rim on the 3 by Champetti, and McDaniels has the rebound. Up ahead, looking for Randall. He's got it. Tacks the rack and finishes. 2-handed flush for Julius Randle.
Wemby right, trailing him 2 behind. Almost got there in time, but Julius quick jumped him.
Ooh, Julius's elbow came up and clocked Castle right in the face. That dunk by Randall, similar to game 1 at the end of one of the quarters when he beat Wemby to the rim and dunked it. LaSalle cans a left side 3, 100-86. Wolves down by 14 with 7:54 left to play.
Boy, it seems like he's been better than 2 of 7 from outside the arc, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. 51% shooting for the Spurs. They force a turnover. Castle right to the rim, jams it with 2 hands. Timeout, Minnesota.
1 step forward, 2 steps back.
Castle just ripped it away on the cross-court pass intended for Naz Reid, and he gets the breakaway slam. Fast break points, 17-14 in favor of San Antonio. Timeout, Minnesota, down by 16 with 7:42 left on the Minnesota Timberwolves Radio Network.
Again this postseason after they were swept in the second round by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Thunder. LeBron James asked to sum up the LA season and their resilience dealing with injury.
Well, I mean, obviously, it was so many different seasons in one season with our ball club, and obviously injuries played a big part of it. But as far as our identity, I thought we were super resilient. Whatever that happened, either if it was me at the beginning of the season, or if it was AR going down, or if it was Luka going down, or reshaping lineups and guys stepping up and playing, we stayed resilient. And for our group to have the moment that we had when Luka goes down, with the hamstring, and then AR goes down with the oblique, and we staring down the barrel of a playoff series, versus Houston, and I thought our guys just responded and was super resilient for us to, win that series was big time for the group that was possessed to go out there. So.
And in that same postgame presser, LeBron quick to deflect away questions about his future in the NBA and whether or not we'd see him next season. Let's get back to Frost Bank Center in the Alamo City. Alan Horton and Jim Peterson.
All right, Cal, thank you very much. Wolves were down by 20 early here in the fourth. They went 13-4 to make it an 11-point game and threatened to make things interesting, but a quick 5-0 burst by San Antonio has pushed the lead back to 16 points, 102-86. Not quite to the midway point of this fourth quarter. Fans, there's nothing quite like being a Timberwolves member. Whether you're in for 10, 20, or every single home game all season, you'll save big, get special access to playoff tickets, and catch every OMG moment from Anthony Edwards. Explore the membership experience at Timberwolves.com/memberships. I feel like Ant at times in the last 2 games has looked like his old self, but I also feel like it's been a struggle for him to maintain that level, which I think the Wolves need him to be at if they're going to win this series.
Wolves have played hard, but they look like they're out of gas. This has been quite the fight. I mean, San Antonio just keeps coming at you.
McDaniels on the run, got bumped by Castle, lost the ball. Stephon comes away with it up the center of the floor, off to Harper. In the paint, out to the corner, Vassell. 3-ball, no, but he got clobbered on the 3. McDaniels just picked up his 5th. Should be 3 shots for Devin Vassell. Shots.
Boy, he's got 10 points in the game, and it seems like he's done way more damage than that as he misses the first free throw here.
He is a +18 on the floor. Wemby and Fox are both +19. Wemby is off the floor right now. Cornette is in. Cornette and Harrison Barnes have the only 2 titles on that Spurs roster. Dante DiVincenzo has 1. And I forgot to ask Bones this today at shoot-around. You know, he was traded midway through that, or late in the season.
Yeah,
trade
with
deadline.
Denver, yeah.
With Denver, I don't know if he gets a ring out of that.
I think he did get a ring.
Okay, then the Wolves have 2, Dante and Bones. 104-86. Now a 7-0 run as Anthony Edwards missed the driving layup and the rebound save, but it comes out to Ayo Dosunmu, and the 3-ball short. Champagne's got the rebound. 7-0 Spurs run here. Looking to add to it. Harper inside, muscles up on Dosunmu in the block, and draws the foul. 2 shots upcoming.
The points in the paint number has told a story in this series too, because in both of the losses that Minnesota had before this game, they had less than 40 points in the paint in both of those games. 36 in game 2, 38 in game 4, excuse me, in game 3, and then the 2 games they won, they had over 50 points. So, I mean, they were able to match San Antonio, and so in this game, it's been a real struggle. The points in the paint is really a huge disparity, 58-30. So if the Wolves can't compete with that, and that's where Rudy Gobert and Julius Randle come into play, right? That they are offensive rebounding the basketball. They're helping Minnesota in that regard.
2 free throws are good. 106-86. Back down by 20. 9-0 Spurs run here. And part of that paint point success in game 4 was the simple fact that Wembanyama only played 12 and a half minutes. Right. There's Naz Reid, wing right, working against Champagnie. 8 on the shot clock. He backs it up. Left hand now. Turns the corner in the lane. Gets to the cup. It didn't get the lay-in. Somehow it spun out. Naz had to work awfully hard to get that shot. Did a nice job switching from the left hand on the drive to the right-handed shot.
Those would have been 2 points in the paint, but he misses the layup. He's going to earn these at the free throw line. Minnesota 19 of 21 from the line. They just have not been able to make threes tonight, too. 9 of 28 from outside the arc. San Antonio has not been a good three-point shooting team as Naz misses the first free throw. They have just 8 makes in 27 attempts.
Yeah. The three-point line has not been a big separator for either side.
It really has not.
I mean, San Antonio only averaging 11 made threes in the series. Wolves 13. It's not a huge number. But things definitely, the regular season is a different animal. 106-87 here. Castle spins inside, missed it at the rim.
You're shocked when he misses.
I know. To the corner of Dosunmu, baseline drive. Bounce it out to Naz Reid. Naz runs into 2. Wow, Randle pulls down a fastball in the corner. Good pump fake, got a step on Cornette. Drives, reverse layup, counted for 2. 13 points for Julius Randle, 4 of 14 shooting.
The gap help from the San Antonio Spurs when anybody drives the basketball has been exceptional in this series.
Ant read that play well, jumping exterior pass to Keldon Johnson in the corner, out of bounds, Spurs ball. Yeah, they're a very well-disciplined defensive team. Offensively, too. I mean, they're third best in the regular season, offense and defense. Still only midway through the fourth quarter. It feels like we should be in reserve time. Wemby back on the floor. Ooh, Champagnie wide open. He missed it. And the rebound squeezed by Naz Reid. 106-89. Wolves are down by 17 here. Julius Randle puts on the deck from the perimeter, drives in, floats it up in the lane. The shot drops, and there was a foul. 3-point opportunity. 5:37 left to go in the fourth. The Wolves are down by 15. 5-0. Julius can make it 6-0 with a free throw. Wolves basketball tonight in Game 5, brought to you in part by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is proud to be the official bank of the Timberwolves. Julius could not hit the free throw. Wemby with another rebound. 26 points, 15 rebounds. Down the lane, Harper flushes with a left hand. That was with authority. 108-91. Ant pulls up on a three, actually catch and shoot under duress, misses that one. Ant's only taken 3 3-point attempts tonight. He has 20 points. Harper front court. 5 minutes left to go in the game. Bounce pass inside, deflected by Naz, comes right back to Harper. Harper drives on Naz, who picks up the foul.
Chris Finch isn't the kind of coach that pulls the plug early,
no.
Typically, even in a 27-point game.
And Chris Finch is the kind of coach who does well with multiple days off, with days to prepare.
Yeah.
And Wemby inside, extra pass, Champagnie. There will be a gap. Wolves will be able to fly back tonight, which is rare, because they're not usually able to do that. As Champagnie scores to make it 110-91. It's a 19-point lead. So the Wolves will get back late tonight, but they will have Wednesday and Thursday and play Friday night, which has been announced as an 8:30. It will be an 8:42 tip, with a potential slide to 8:47. So make note of that. But the Wolves will they'll have the most time they've had in this series to prepare for a game will be before Game 6.
He's shown it, and this team looks like they could use an extra day as well.
Yeah.
You give him that time, you give Minnesota the chance to get energized in front of their crowd. It's just a different story, and so then it comes down to a Game 7 for Minnesota.
Well,
anything can happen.
We mentioned to start off the broadcast, the Wolves have not fared particularly well in franchise history in Game 5s on the road. About to go to 1-8. The only win coming in Rudy's career playoff game, Game 5 against the LA Lakers in the first round. He had the 27 points, 24 rebounds, both career highs. The 13 of 18 shooting was a career high for Rudy that night. Well, the Wolves all-time 2-3 when they're in a series tied 2-2.
Well, the important thing you mentioned was last game, Minnesota's record in Game 4s, because that 8-2 record is exceptional.
Yeah.
And it's such an important number, either to get a 3-1 lead or to tie it at 2-2.
It's funny how after every single series, you get new, not every single series, every game within a series, you get different numbers, right? The Wolves have been bad in Game 5s, but on the road, but they've been really good. Chris Finch, in fact, the best coaching record in Game 4s in NBA history with that 8-2 record.
Right.
Wolves were tied 2-2 with Seattle in '99, lost that series 3-2. Tied 2-2 with the Lakers in '03, lost that 4-2. Were 2-2 with Sacramento in '04, won that one. Had Memphis 2-2 and 22, and lost that one in 6 games. Naz with a corner three out of the timeout, off the back iron. Fox with a rebound, taps it up ahead to Victor Wembanyama. And then the 7-game series against Denver, that was a 2-2 series, and the Wolves won that in 7 games. Fox on the attack to the rim, finishes with a left hand.
He is out there dancing on people, baby.
18 points for Fox, 26 for Wembanyama, 17 for Castle, 16 for, I mean, everybody double figures amongst their key guys. Dosunmu went to pack it, couldn't do it off the back iron under duress from Wemby, but Randall cleans it up. 112-93.
Got to say though, Wemby did most of his damage right away. I mean, he was so good in that first quarter.
I mean, really that first stint. I mean, he had 16 points in the opening 6 minutes of that. Yeah, 16 of his 18 in the opening 6 minutes he played.
Yeah.
And just as impactful at the other end of the floor. Maybe he didn't have the huge number of blocks like he had in game 1, setting an NBA playoff record with 12 of them.
I mean, he was unbelievable. He was 6 of 8 from the field. He had 14 points from the field. He had 18 total points in that quarter, and he's got 26 now. Just missed that first free throw. So it was a lot of Wemby early, and that really kind of set the tone for this game, didn't it? Minnesota got back on their heels, and they were having to overcome a double-digit deficit almost right away.
1 out of 2 for Wemby. I feel like that's the biggest issue for the Wolves in this series is how to solve, not getting blown out when Wemby's on the floor. He's been that impactful. Ayo, corner 3 off the feed from Edwards. Missed that one. Wembanyama with the rebound. That's his 17th. Fox runs away from Edwards. In the paint, stops, kicks out. Left side, Keldon Johnson. 3 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Spins up with the left hand. It rattles around. It drops in.
Chris Finch is going to call a timeout. Neither coach relenting here. So with 3:08 to go, I would imagine Chris Finch is going to let this be reserve time now.
Now's the time. 3:08 left to go. 115-93. The Wolves are down by 22. It's their largest deficit of the game. Fans, the playoff hunt is heating up, and you don't want to miss out. Secure your seats for postseason action right now. Timberwolves.com/playoffs. See if you get yourself in the building Friday night. Game 6, Wolves will be down 3-2. Well, Chris Finch mentioned it after, on our tip-off show tonight about Game 4. He thought the Wolves really had some offense flowing right when Wemby got ejected in that game. It was probably the best offense the Wolves had with Wemby on the floor.
Right.
And when he went out, I mean, it took a while for the Wolves to kind of adjust to all that. And not just all of a sudden just dominate. But they've got to get back to finding good shots when Wemby's on the floor. I feel like it's at both ends of the floor. He's been so efficient offensively and such a force. And then equally at the other end, the Wolves aren't generating good shots.
Well, it's something that ebbs and flows with this team. Yeah, I find it interesting that Bones Highland, who gives Minnesota another ball handler and someone else that has another gear, and also gives you three-point shooting. He's not shot the ball well, both at the end of the Denver series, and that's kind of really where, and then in Game 1 as well, he didn't play particularly well.
Bones Highland will be out there with Kyle Anderson, Julian Phillips, Jalen Clark, and Yohan Beringer. Mitch Johnson has kind of gone to his bench. He still has Keldon Johnson out there, Julian Champagny. Bones misses a left wing 3. Dylan Harper's still out there. He's got the rebound. Keldon Johnson, good look at a 3 up top, and he buries it. He's got his first 20-point game of the series. He's up to 21. Wemby's night is certainly done with 2:27 left. Up 118-93. Beringer tried to kick out to the wing, got deflected, turned over. Champagny left side 3, in and out, no. Beringer the rebound. Bones Highland will jog it up. J-Max on the floor, Jordan McLaughlin.
See, this is why reserve time is important, because that's an inaccurate pass by Bones Highland for no reason. And it just was not a good pass. Julian Phillips couldn't handle it. It's out of bounds. He steps out of bounds, and it's just a turnover for no reason. But if Bones were to play well in this stint, you never know.
Absolutely. Could earn him a first half stint in game 6. And you build that into something more. Kelly Olynyk. Lindy Waters. Now to the corner. Carter Bryant up face to the 3. Dribbles around Kyle Anderson. J-Mac with it up top. Swings it right side. Waters catch and shoot 3. He hits. 121-93. Timberwolves lost game 2 by 38 points here. The margin is currently 28. So their last 2 games have not even been close in this building. 90 seconds left to go in game 5. Kelly Olynyk on a handoff. Lindy Waters. J-Mac wing left. Bounce pass to a cutting. Bismack Biyombo. He gets to the cup and lays it in off the glass. Down by 30. Clark inside. Yohan couldn't get the lay-in over Kelly Olynyk. Grabs his own miss and is fouled on the putback attempt. Yohan Beringer to the free throw line. Wolves just continued to have to battle from behind, climb the mountain. Down by 15, got it to within 2. Down by 18, got it tied up. Got it to a 20-point game. Down to 11 here in the 4th quarter, and then the wheels have come off. Wolves led for the entirety of 9 seconds in this game. Spurs are going to go up 3-2 with game 6 coming up Friday night at Target Center. Lindy Waters, top of the key. He'll rise for the jumper. In and out, no. And Baron J has got the rebound. Now Kyle Anderson up the center of the floor. Crosses over. Reach in on Biyombo. It'll be free throws for Kyle Anderson.
I feel like the bench for the San Antonio Spurs has just been exceptional too in this game, because both Keldon Johnson, who might be the MVP this game besides Wembanyama. I mean, Wemby obviously with 27 and 17, but Keldon Johnson had 21 very loud points on very efficient shooting. 8 of 11 from the field for him, plus 17 in this game. So they got a great performance off the bench. Naz, is admirable with the way that he plays, because he's made some hard shots in this game. He's only got 12 points on 4 of 10, but this is a machine. This San Antonio Spurs team, especially in this building.
Yeah, because you always get better performances right from your reserves at home, and I don't. Keldon.
Hey, I appreciate y'all hanging out.
He's that good.
Hey, Anthony Edwards never showed up. No showtime tonight. Y'all make sure y'all have a good night. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Until next time, Potoi.
In a Spurs uniform tonight. Kyle Anderson tried to set up Baron J on the lob. Got broken up by Biyombo, and he's called for the foul. Target Center will be rocking and rolling on Friday night.
Oh yeah.
What a way to tip off the weekend.
It's a goosebumps sort of experience for us to be able to see the building like that, and it's been like that all season long. It's been that way for 5 years, really.
Yep, and it certainly wasn't like that for a long period of time. Ooh, J-Mac off to Biyombo inside. Shot rejected by Baron J. Julian Phillips, corner 3 over Olynyk, the 7-footer. No. Carter Bryant has the rebound. He just needs to get it across the timeline, and that'll do it. 126-97. Timberwolves are going to fall by 29 points here in Game 5. San Antonio has taken a 3-2 series lead with a dominant win on the home floor behind a big night from Victor Wembanyama. Ejected in Game 4, comes back with a monster Game 5, 27 points, 17 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 block shots. He was a plus 24 in his 33 minutes on the floor tonight. San Antonio 126, Minnesota 97. Stay tuned. Postgame gets it away next, all across the Minnesota Timberwolves radio network.
Got a young hooper at home?
Wolves down by 14 with 7:54 left to play.
Well, it seems like he's been better than 2 of 7 from outside the arc, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. 51% shooting for the Spurs. They force a turnover. Castle right to the rim. Jams it with 2 hands. Timeout, Minnesota.
1 step forward, 2 steps back.
Castle just ripped it away on the cross-court pass intended for Naz Reid, and he gets the breakaway slam. The onslaught was on here tonight in Game 5. The Spurs run away and hide. They led by as many as 30. Bunch of comeback attempts by the Wolves, but they come up well short, losing it by 29, 126-97. This is the Federated Insurance postgame show. We got head coach Chris Finch coming up. We'll get some postgame reaction from the locker room and some highlights from this one, updated scores from around the NBA, although there was no other action in the NBA as Oklahoma City defeated the LA Lakers, sweeping them. They're 8-0 in the postseason. They await the winner of this series, which will begin next week. Possibly Monday, possibly Wednesday. Those are the 2 dates in which that Western Conference Finals could begin. Along with Jim Peterson, Alan Horton along with you. Our post-game show, Jim, there's not much to say about this one.
Yeah.
I mean, San Antonio was just too strong tonight. Wemby set the tone early. He had 18 the opening quarter. They really never looked back. They shot 53%. They outshot the Wolves at the three-point line, not by a ton, but enough. They were dominant in the paint. They were dominant on the glass. And they once again have more fast break points. That's 5 straight games the Wolves have been beaten in transition. Now, the last 3 games have been smaller margins, but still, every bucket matters. And San Antonio's been too good in transition.
Didn't win a single quarter. And so that's a problem. And, you know, typically you'll have ebbs and flows, but Minnesota, you know, they were able to, you know, come back in that first quarter. They only lost the first quarter by 4 points. It was 34-30 at the end of 1. After all that went on in that first quarter, they came back and, you know, they did make it a close game, and just the bottom dropped out there in the second half. But you're right. There's not a lot to analyze right now. You just got to figure out a way how to get better offense, more consistent offense from quarter to quarter.
And also some of the factors that don't look quite as impressive after this blowout, because Wemby was so dominant, but they finished plus 24 with him on, but a plus 5 with him off. That wasn't the case early on.
Right.
He was that dominant and helped setting the tone. Let's take an early timeout here. We'll come back with head coach Chris Finch, his post-game press conference after a 126-97 setback in Game 5. Spurs up 3-2 on the Timberwolves radio network.